Fuck's sake.
Right. Is that going to be just the beginning anyway? Right. Oh, God. Come on, let's get through it. God. Hello and welcome back to the only wrestling podcast that exclusively rebooks, reviews and reimagines the worst of wrestling's past. We are Better Call Creative, and as ever, I am joined by the screaming demons themselves. It's Jack Norm Chance.
Hello.
And it's Sam the Demon Chance.
Well, I've got the worst ending.
Everyone loves Norm. Everyone loves Norm. Oh, thank you, Norm. You're the only bit of levity on this whole podcast.
He's one of our own.
Norman Smiley. He's one of our own. Yes, we are. Oh, we knee deep in WCW 2000 here.
Oh, great.
It's March time, and March in WCW means it's uncensored.
2000.
We have done a lot of uncensored there.
God, that's shit.
It's always shit.
Has there been a good uncensored? So that's the challenge for us all to find an uncensored which is passable.
Maybe 97?
Oh,
Just
God.
because of how hot the company was.
Yeah. Probably. Yeah, we're going back to the 19th of March 2000 to check out Uncensored 2000. And I'm not going to ask your thoughts because I don't want to tease what is about to happen on this podcast because it's a Halloween Havoc 95 moment all over again, this is. But the UK, number one, on the 19th of March 2000 was a terrible remix of a Bryan Adams song. Don't give up. Don't give up. Yeah, that's by Bryan Adams, apparently. Bryan Adams and Chicane, or something like that they're called. Shite.
Chicane.
Yeah. US number one was Say My Name by Say My Name, Destiny's Child. But again, you know who wins the day with these number ones? The Aussies always win. They know good music. NSYNC, bye bye bye. What happened, Australia?
Come on, Aussie.
You had Taste, you had Red Hot Chili Peppers. What happened? Toy Story 2 topped the box office, which I think is the best Toy Story.
Do you?
I do.
The best?
Yeah, the best. It's the best.
Well, I think it's probably the third worst.
The third worst. There's only been four.
Yeah.
There'll be second.
It's third worst. Now it's third. That's rank Toy Story 1, Toy Story 3, Toy Story 2, Toy Story 4.
Not with the Big Bear one. The Big Bear one.
The Big Bear one's good.
Oh.
Toy Story 3's good.
So?
Come on, it's all one and two.
You have seen Ed, and Eddie, though. And the latest episode of Ed, and Eddie was Ready, Set, Ed, as the Eds try to compete with Kevin, who's been breaking world records. You know that?
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Sam was the bad time for Ed and Eddie.
No, we've got that.
Yeah, that's what we're doing an Ed and Eddie podcast. The PS2 was released 2 weeks before this show, but the big release was Wario Land 3 on the GameCube.
GameCube, I've got that.
Have you got it? Any good?
Yeah, it's alright.
Yeah, Wario Land's
Don't
good.
mind Wario.
Yeah.
Wario.
He's a boy, Wario.
He's a boy.
He's a Wario.
Bit of a boy.
And, well, sport. So, Gary Megson's took over. We've just been Stockport. We're about to start the the Saviour Tour, but we've still got time to lose 1-0 to Huddersfield at home.
Oh, what a terrible
And Liverpool, meanwhile, were playing Derby County and they beat them 2-0.
Oh, I feel like you play Derby every time.
Yeah, I was saying there's a lot of Derby
Yeah.
County during this.
Michael Owen and Titi Kamara
Oh,
Titi.
is a sign of the times
Titi
that we are
Kamara.
in. So, yes, there you go. And unfortunately, we have to open Uncensored
We have to start.
2000 now. We open on a video promo focusing initially on the genius storybooking of let's destroy a whole locker room's arms as Luger is breaking everyone's arms and Sting is coming back to sort it out. Hogan has a Yapapapi Indian strap. And he's obviously turned it into a Yapapapi Indian strap match. Jack with raw pink meat all round.
Strapation. Strapation. What's that mean?
Oh,
I'm worried
God.
what's going to happen in this match.
And the WCW title match ends the promo, which is the build for Sid Vicious versus Double J, the match no one wanted. How have you fell on that as your main event with the roster that you had? Like, it doesn't make any sense to me.
Nope.
It's a bit of backstory then. I think it's probably worth noting at this point that booking the show at the moment is Kevin Sullivan because Russo has done it for about a year and he's knackered and sort of given up on it.
All of that shit.
Well, that's he did it on a year.
October.
So
October 99.
by March they'd gone, oh, fuck this. He's fucked.
They got rid of 3 months and they went, you shit.
Yeah.
So the Martin Sullivan thought, you shit, let's get Russo and Bishop.
So yeah, they am in a bit of a state of flux, where Sullivan's trying to sort of unpick a lot of the things that have been going on. They have also lost a dearth of talent in the fact that Scott Hall's demons have beaten him, and I don't think he appears again.
No, his last match was the pay-per-view before.
Well, and they've lost all the radicals recently as well.
The whole mid-card.
Yeah.
Kevin Nash is injured, but he's amnesia.
Oh, he's got amnesia at this point.
He
what's
thinks his
that?
commissioner gone.
Oh God, I don't. I'm not quite sure I could.
The NWO is still around, but it's only
I get
Jared.
I can't believe that when they come out later. I honestly, come on.
Full life.
So yeah, we there's a dearth of talent and the creative direction, which is questionable at best. We go immediately straight into a sort of few promos backstage. So we see Luger and Flair arrive.
Team package.
Team package, they shout. Jesus.
Team package.
Team package. Team package. Hogan and Sid have a chat, and Hogan promises to watch Sid's back. The NWO, which is Jarrett and the Harris twins, walk and have a chuckle backstage. And, by the way, here's a limousine. More of that later on. What an absolute cack way to start a pay-per-view.
They did do a lot of these quick cut sort of promos on Nitro and everything. That was what they was doing.
It's terrible. You don't need to do it on the pay-per-view, especially.
No, I agree.
The package tells
Team
you
package.
Yeah, the package, yeah. We get a pyro, and Tony welcomes us, and he's with Mike Tenay and Mark Madden. I assume we've lost Bobby as well.
No, I think he's still around, but he just did Thunder.
Did he?
He's like, I'm just doing Thunder. I've got my arse to do the rest.
I don't think Mark Madden was as bad as some of the things. I mean, it might be because of how bad the pay-per-view was.
Tony definitely gives up about 2 matches.
There's a part where you literally see, you can hear Tony trying to give up. Because he starts calling things like really inside. It's madness. I mean, there's an element of Mark Madden that's always shit. Like, there's certain things he says. But he wasn't so over the top with his crap tonight that it spoiled things. Because he didn't need
Sam wouldn't agree.
No, I just don't want to hear
it. Right, our opening match then. Prince Iakea, who is the Cruiserweight champion, which it baffles the mind when you've got Ray, Kidman, and Psychosis and Hoovy. And they go, we'll have the artist.
That is one of my notes.
You'll have the artist, Prince Iakea, as the...
he had a gimmick there, I think.
And
Oh,
I don't
the
like
fact that
the belt.
his
With
name
just
was Prince.
now.
Fucking hell. The purple raindrops. One thing I don't understand with that is, if he's got a custom belt, why do they not focus on the fact that he's got a custom belt, have him carry it, show the?
I
the
don't
big...
know. He had a custom belt.
Yeah, it was like
Just
purple lining, weren't
Was
it, in the belt and stuff.
I just thought they'd lost the other cruiserweight and just made a new one.
Just get him a new one.
Yeah, I just don't quite understand, because again, it was Prince, so it was all sort of about arting up everything and stuff. So yeah, he's the artist.
Cruiserweight.
He's got a valet who is Charmel, Hall of Fame. Yeah, Charmel.
One of these is in the Hall of Fame, and it's not Prince.
Her name is Paisley. So yeah,
Paisley.
Bob Paisley. So yeah, we see the artist has been beating down on Psychosis basically in the build, which doesn't give you a lot of confidence that Psychosis is going to win this match. Psychosis.
Why did he have to take his match?
Oh god, I mean both of them. They look like mooks when they start coming out. Psychosis. They have taken Psychosis's look and just dropped it to here.
Yeah.
The mask, the gear is
the red
terrible.
gear without the mask, he just looks like a complete fool.
He looks like a creator wrestler. That's what he looks
At
like.
least we got to hear
Bad
his
one.
thing.
Yeah.
That is
Oh my god.
The juice. The juice. Doing all his water and shit.
Well, Juice is definitely trying to get his shit in. If you didn't know he was fighting, you'd think Juice was fighting. But he's such a fucking camera hogging bastard. He's mad.
He's trying to be the Rock. But
So, artist looks like he's just got back from work because he's got a big old.
This big purple and white shirt.
Well, he's got a 5 o'clock shadow and he's lost his tie. He looks like he's just come out of work. He hooks up and they immediately play some music. Oh, by the way, we've got a new person. We're going to debut him. Here, in this random spot, which is Chris Candido, he makes his way out to no reaction. No reaction.
Yeah.
And he just sort of walks over to the commentary team, says he's here for the Cruiserweight title. Oh, fucking me, that makes sense, doesn't it? Like, he was higher mid-card in ECW. You've come here to be the best Cruiserweight. I mean, what the fuck?
I don't think you're a Cruiserweight.
What is it? It's Hard Knocks, isn't it? Hard Knocks.
My
What the fuck's that?
Mike Knocks.
Hard knock life.
Psychosis hits a top rope hurricane rana and a clothesline to the artist. Chris just starts playing whiny heel immediately on commentary. He says he's here to wrestle, not jump around. Psychosis is hung up.
Well, thanks for that.
Yeah. There's a knee to the belly. Super kick by the champ, but he can't get a 3. Paisley hits the slowest slap you have ever seen on Psychosis on the outside as artist uses the steps and stays dominant with the corner clothesline. I mean, by this point, I've already got fed up with this match.
Like a minute.
And the leg drop. Candido on commentary is very, very distracting to what should be your opening contest. Psychosis feeds the comeback with a sunset flip for a 2. There's a top rope hurricane rana again, which leads to a very botchy spot, but a nice sit-out face plant suplex by Psychosis. Paisley and Hoovy have a scrap outside, and I take it back. Mark Madden just shouts cat fight. What the fuck are they doing?
She beats the shit out of him and all. That's so
Well,
weird.
he's beaten up, and she starts stripping him, but the camera sort of thing.
I thought Sam would enjoy the fact that Movie gets the shit beat out of him, but Paisley.
Yeah.
I'm just checked out.
5 minutes to
Yeah.
get derailed.
Top rope leg drop, which is Psychosis' finish, by the way, but he sort of has to walk around to make the pin last longer than it needs to, and then he just sort of gets up and has a chat to Paisley, and he misses, even though bloody artist is on the corner that he's sort of standing in. We're supposed to believe he doesn't see him in the corner of his eye. And he turns around, misses him, and gets his jumping DDT finish, which is a nice finish at the very least. I'll give some credit. And the artist beats Psychosis to defend a Cruiserweight title that initially, at one point, was being defended between Eddie Guerrero and Rey Mysterio.
Yeah.
Chris
Oh,
Jericho,
yeah.
Don't remember that.
What have you done, Jack?
Well, when they sort of stalled and then Candido come out, I already thought, well, this has gone wrong in 10 seconds. Then they have an okay, pretty bland match without any cruiserweight style.
Yeah.
Then they do the Rana off the top near the end, which I thought the crowd popped a little bit.
Yeah, a little
rather than getting into it. And then it all derailed very quickly when Hoovy, for some reason, gets the shit beat out of him by Paisley. Then he does his finisher anyway, Psychosis, gets up and taunts, then goes for the pin, then just gets up, and then they just argues with Paisley, and then the DDT. So I think everyone looked bad. I mean, Psychosis was the only one who was coming out looking a bit good, but then he just got up.
Well, I don't think this actually does anything for artists.
The only one who looked good was Paisley.
Yes.
Even Candido come out looking shit.
Oh, Candido immediately is irrelevant. Like, you know, if you're going to whack
They even like get in and lay them both out. And
I just don't understand when you've lost Chris Benoit and you lost Dean Malenko and stuff. You know, Candido's a solid mid-card hand, so why are you shoving him in this?
He should be in a cruiserweight. Yeah.
Well, even if you am, you've got to build the cruiserweight up. So really, you know, the artist shouldn't be anywhere near.
We got Shane Douglas for the big guy.
But yeah, it's just. I mean, I can't really add to it. It's probably the right winner, but the Juvie Paisley bit, it just actually kills another credible contender for the title. Yeah. In fact, I think Paisley's closer to becoming the next cruiserweight champion. The fact that we open on a show to the show and the commentary team are pretty much ignoring the match because they're talking about Candido. It just and the finish is just a joke. What a turd way to start that. The pay-per-view. So.
Yeah, it's just awful. I mean, you think of where the Cruiserweight title was to this. You just think, is there any point in having it now?
Yeah.
Really?
There is a bit of that, either. Because they ain't really got the depth of Cruiserweights to do it, have they?
No, I mean...
Even Villano's gone.
In fact...
Well, he's still there.
Oh, is he?
They ain't got no flippy people to be
you know, they are... No, it's reviled, but, you know, they released Backstage Assault. Their obvious focus around this time is much more around the brawlers and the hardcore style. This is a hardcore pay-per-view. You could do without a cruiserweight match and a hardcore pay-per-view.
Yeah, I agree.
I just don't think it helps Psychosis. Artist doesn't particularly look strong. Who is weak and Candido's weak. It's just like... And you've only had a match for about 4 minutes. Like, what the fuck's happened here?
Paisley.
Don't worry, though. Let's fucking weaken another person because Gene's interviewing Bam Bam backstage. Fuck me.
What a promo.
Bam Bam is not a promo, but at best, he was a promo and he's no longer a promo because he's he's glassy as fuck as well. He's very glassy.
Pat Bigelow, tonight here at Uncensored, you and the wall one-on-one. Here's a young man that you brought into this great business, but all of a sudden, something is terribly wrong.
I don't know what's wrong, Gene. I mean, here's a guy that the past couple weeks making me sick to my stomach. Here's a man that's crushing people. Here's a guy that I brought into a business that I tried to teach to do the right thing. He's out there, he's crippling people, he's hurting people, he's doing the wrong thing.
He's taking their livings away from them, in essence.
I taught him everything he knows about wrestling. But I didn't teach him everything I know. Tonight, man-to-man, one-on-one, me, you, the wall, I'm putting a stop to it. Tonight, it's going to end here uncensored.
So he talks about facing the wall, who he bought into the wrestling industry.
So it's your fault, is it?
That's what Gene said. It's your fault.
He's not happy with the wall taking people out, and he's finishing it tonight.
How many people have been taken by Luger and Wall?
That one, they got no mid-card.
They got no main event,
Oh dear. So the next match then. So XS are out. We've changed the gimmick again. We can no longer do the gay shtick. It's
and they're not standards and practices anymore.
Yeah,
it's Lenny Lane. Who is Chris Jericho blonde, but he looks like Stephen Richards when he's got his darker
hair. With Lodi, who is now Jimmy Rave.
He's just Rave.
He's Rave, yeah.
Not Jimmy Rave, he's the
He's dead.
No,
yeah,
he
he is, huh?
Well, so it's Raven Lane in it. That's
Yeah,
what they're
Yeah,
going to do.
that was the party boys.
They're feuding
Yeah.
they're feuding with Screaming Norman and the Demon, which is an amazing team in
He was
itself.
brilliant at this point.
Yeah.
Norman Smiley.
What we
Coming out
need,
the crypt.
I'll tell you what we need more of. We need more distraction at the start of a match and confusion as Miss Hancock comes out. Now, again, I have tried to... I wouldn't say I give credit to Mark Madden, but I didn't shit on him. But this fucking pervy cack at the start where he goes, do you want to sit on my... And you're thinking he's going to do something clever here. He's going to say something, chair. Like, he's teasing. And he just goes, lap. Fucking prick. Like,
To be fair, I stopped and laughed because I thought of him. I thought of Sam and I thought, oh my God, he'll throw a can at the
I just shook my head.
It's so bad, eh? It's like he's trying to think. Can I think?
That's right.
Lap. And then she's got to, like, how do you sell this?
Yeah, no, just sort of looks
And
around.
it's completely new and
Oh, it was
green.
so green.
Yeah.
So,
Why is she in this
green.
poor
Why have you
woman?
put her on the commentary just to be
Yeah.
leched over by fucking
Well, all of
Tony?
them, even Tony was doing for it.
Yeah, I'll go and fetch you some fucking hell, Tony.
We'll get you a tea. You want a tea?
Tea?
There's a fucking
This is no time for tea.
I will stand by this. The best thing that happens in the whole pay-per-view is the casket lifts up. And we think it's going to be the Demon. The Demon comes out the entrance. Norman Smiley comes out dressed as the Demon.
Yes.
Brilliant fucking thing. It's just, they should have just said, goodbye, folks, and then ended the show
It's
there.
downhill from here.
Because Christ, then a match happens. So Ray starts off with the Demon, which it shouldn't have been. He's under up down. Lane makes the save. Norm is in now. I love Norm because he's such a good wrestler. And everyone goes on, he's brilliant trainer. You probably know a million moves. And he recognised in 2000 the best way to get over is just doing a wiggle
To do a little
and a thrust.
What's it at this point that Tracy Keebler or Hancock said it was going to guide the career of Silver King and El Dandy? Standard in practice.
Los Fabulosos.
Yep.
Is that what it was
That's
called?
the team.
Oh, there was a team.
This happened.
I thought it was just random.
This
It's
happened.
like Saturn and Albert.
Anyway, so Norm gives Lane a wiggle and then a little bit of a spanky wiggle. There's a tag match now breaks out as Demon is tagged in, and yes, as Sam just correctly said, Tony teases that Miss Hancock is going to be guiding the careers of Silver King and El Dandy.
What a team.
Norman gets the first crowd reaction, at the very least, as Rave and Lane hit Poetry in Motion for a 2. There's a weird double clothesline spot where all three men fall down.
Collision on nothing.
And Tony just says, look at that move with no emotion. None at all.
That's his move!
Norm gets the hot tag. He takes out both men. There's more wiggle work as Rave and Lane get control. This is terrible as Lane clotheslines Demon outside. Norman locks in what looks like some sort of Taz mission on Rave, and that's it. They're done.
Yeah, the Norman's Conquest is the name.
That's a good name. But the losers don't care because I think they roll out and immediately go to sell and
just
start
try and run off with
that
Miss
Hancock.
Tony's still making her a cup of tea.
The kettle's not boiled yet.
Norman Demon Saver and Miss Hancock gives Norm the wiggle, and then the ref joins in, and then they teach Demon how to do the wiggle, which we thank God for that last minute after the match because.
And instantly Gene Simmons says, I'm not linked with it. I regret this decision.
Sam,
you just love Norman. That's all it is. It's just watch Norman and it's a happy experience. Watch the match and it's not.
I just said honestly, what the fuck is going on with this company? I don't believe this was 2 years ago beating Raw in the ratings.
2 or 3 years.
You've only got to go back a couple of years, and you had like Sting, Goldberg, Hogan, big matches, massive.
It was the point.
He come back.
You got
2 weeks
Screaming
after.
Norman. I love Norman Smiley, but fuck me. You got Screaming Norman and fucking the Demon. Oh, God.
Was this a main event match?
What the fuck is going on?
I wish it was.
And the match itself, it was so fast-paced, so quick. Everything was rushed. It's like, if you're going to give this match a minute and a half of proper before you get to the finish, don't build it at all. Like, don't put it on pay-per-view. You've got Thunder for 3 hours next week. Like, what you doing? I mean, but I do love Norman.
Well, yeah, we're Thunder.
You know what I mean? It's just like, what the fuck? Jeff?
The match ain't very good, but Norman and the Demon and probably now a boy team.
Oh, the
level of New Jack and Shark Boy.
Yeah.
Because it's such the odd couple, but Norman's brilliant.
Yeah.
I mean, the Demon ain't very good, but he sort of helps Norman with the character.
He's the straight man
being
to the...
Seth.
Yeah.
The Miss Hancock spot, I feel very sorry for her that they put her in all of this because she ain't ready for any of it. Even the Wiggles, she sort of had to be positioned and told how to do it. And all he's going to do is pretend to spank Norman. But bless Norman, he's amazing. The Demon
He's
tried,
a boy.
but the nuts and bolts of the match is very bad. But at least he got the right winners. And I think I would like to watch more Norman and Demon as a team.
I don't know. What about Norman and Ralphus? That happens later on.
Well, basically,
where the
more
big like Terry
Norman
Funk.
with anyone weird.
Yeah.
You can't have him with anyone. You could probably have him with a straight bloke as well. But
The only good
I
thing
think he
in the
did take
whole
with
of
Shark Boy and
2000
TNA. For a
is
bit.
Norman.
He's brilliant.
He's sort of come into his own when everybody left.
Yeah, and he is really solid, really, really solid worker. Although, again, like I say, he recognised I've only got to do that wiggle. Yeah.
Just shout a lot.
The thrust moves are the best move I've ever seen as well.
Booker is not having any of Kidman's apology backstage, and then we immediately go to David Flair and Crowbar in neck braces. Flair asks Daphne to stay in the back. Daphne promises she will, but she has the fingers crossed. The one thing that made me smile was the fact that David Flair had a crowbar and Crowbar had an iron bar.
He had a David Flair.
He had an action figure of David Flair. It was, oh God, and then we see some of the safest table spots you'll ever see, which are supposedly...
Well, I love the Bam Bam spot when he jumps off the stairs.
That was
through the table.
Did he try and do his boots up where he just eventually turned back?
The Wall is getting over though with the tables.
No, he's not.
No, he is. The
He's
crowd's
getting a
getting
bit of a
reaction.
reaction.
Yeah, he is. I don't like. I ain't saying that they should have been pushing the Wall.
That's the Wall.
It ain't so much the Wall, it's the tables.
It's the tables that are over. You could be anyone putting anyone through a table, and that would be more interesting than United. Yeah, but the Wall is definitely getting over as a gimmick. Bam Bam has gone all T-shirt gear again because I think, well, he has seen better days. Bam Bam's been around a bit longer.
I've always been fat, but I now look very fat.
He's very stale as well because he's almost stripped away. He's like got no fire or nothing anymore. He's got the bloody Pope's thing written on his arse, isn't he? You know what I mean? I'm not looking at guys' butts, but I'm not looking at his butt. But yeah, Bam Bam. Oh, I mean, I know he's solid probably enough to get over some of the young talent coming up, and he's giving enough to do that. But fuck me, he's fucked, isn't he? I mean, he's gone here. Tony gives us the whole story of how he's lost his suit and jacket, and now he's lost his sleeves. Cheers, Tony.
Hey,
What else he says? He used to wear a suit jacket, and now he's not no sleeves.
someone stole his clothes. What the fuck?
That's the Wall.
Wall and Bam Bam exchange rights and lefts. Wall hits a clothesline out the corner and charges Bam. They repeat the spot, and Bam this time hits a clothesline of his own. There's a scoop slam. He goes up high, hits his headbutt. What are you doing, Bam Bam? Don't do your finish. Wall kicks out with ease. Big boot, high knee for a 2. Spinning DDT by Bam Bam for a 2. Big clothesline to the outside. They think, fuck this. They head to the stage area. Wall chokeslams Bam Bam through a table with monitors on. Bear in mind it's uncensored. They DQ the Wall at this point, presumably. Bam Bam wins the match. Flair and
Did you say the
Crowbar.
spots?
Well, yeah, they were
Tiny spot.
the
Yeah.
tiny spark.
Not quite Mankind falling off the big visit.
It was a spark, wasn't it?
Yeah.
David Flair and Crowbar are out. They attack the wall as the NTs help Bam Bam. Daphne screams because we then see that Crowbar and Wall have wrestled up high onto a conveniently placed sort of platform.
Yeah.
And Wall, after some to-in and fro-in, choke slams Crowbar off the set. Well, off the platform through the set. Yeah, and... Well, he's all right, really, but yeah, it's a good...
no, it looks like he's dead.
Yeah. Well, they play this up for fuck, though. Like, Jesus Christ, all the somber commentary the rest of the match. Look, the match is terrible. There's nothing... in fairness to them, they've given them no time to do this. This is a whole big spot within a pay-per-view. If you're going to do it, build to it, or Wall comes in, chokeslam Bam Bam, wins the match, get onto the spot. Because they gave it enough time for me to consider it a match, it was crap as a match. The fact that it happens the third match on the card, a card that's already bloated, doesn't help this because they then talk about it repeatedly to the point that, as a viewer at home, I'm fed up of it. But if it had happened maybe later in the show, it might have had a bit more impact. Or if it had built more in the actual match. If it was anyone but Crowbar, it might have mattered as well. The Wall is definitely getting over as a sadistic monster. I think they're wrong for pushing him, but it does make sense. He looks big, strong. There is a bit of a Kevin Sullivan know how to book for Hogan. Where's the nearest big man? Build a big
That's the Wall!
I was really disappointed with Bam Bam because he's just gone now. Like, he's really gone.
Still there for another year.
Yeah.
He's on the final Nitro.
And, again, they just sort of treated Flair and Crowbar as cannon fodder, but you know what? They probably were. So
more than one.
I actually quite like the spot. Jack.
Yeah, the match itself isn't, it's hard to critique because it's over before it begins, really. I mean, it's only 3 minutes, I think. I feel like the Wall is getting face reactions. People want him to do the
I wanted him to jump off at the end.
Jump.
It's sort of becoming.
You don't want to see a Wall falling.
I don't know why you'd a tables match and give him the win over Bam Bam. I don't know why we have to have a DQ because you've put him to a table.
Doesn't make any sense.
It just felt a bit
It's uncensored.
It just felt like we've got to get you up the ramp to do this spot, and we can't think of a way to just have you brawl up the ramp. Crowbar and Flair being fed to the Wall, I don't mind, but like I said, it felt like the Wall was the face, and it felt like Bam Bam was pointless. And Crowbar and Flair, I don't mind being fed to him. And then they did thing with Daphne where they said, "Stay backstage." She should have been the first one out, surely.
I
think
should have been the one chucked off the stage.
Yeah, jumped on him.
I think so as well. I think she should have been.
I think I probably would have took it and all, but
maybe
it's weird that they did that, and then you never really see it. You just hear her doing that.
Well, I think that naturally would have got a heel reaction because it's a woman, even with the two players.
Daphne's really the most over out of the three.
Yeah, Daphne is definitely the most over out of the three.
Yeah.
And all the booking, I thought that was where they were going to go. I didn't know that this led to a big chokeslam spot, but I thought Daphne's going to end up taking a table spot. So I agree with you. That would have been the sensible
But
booking.
at least finally on an uncensored show we have something that's hardcore.
And
but it's not.
Well, now we've got loads.
No, but at least
but
it's
something. Yeah,
spot.
yeah, and not the wiggle.
Yeah,
That's uncensored.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yes.
Right, we get the usual somber commentary work now. As Gene,
Sam's happy.
Gene interviews Brian Knobs.
The forgotten Dudley boy.
Dudley Knobs.
Well, he's boss. Dudley Knobs. Brian Dudley.
Knobs dedicates the match to Bam Bam and Crowbar.
Don't know whether that was needed.
Thanks, Knobs.
I'm sure that feels much better now.
So, God, this match, 3 counter outs. They're carrying 3 green circles, which is their sort of spots that they do the thing
The
on.
NC.
I'm alright with that. What the fuck is going on? 3 counter, all hardcore champions because it's like the 3-bird rule.
They all pinned knobs.
So they named all.
That's a weird sentence to say.
Yeah, it is strange. Evan thanks their fans. Knobs interrupts their planned dance routine. Tony is annoyed that they have to commentate on this after Crowbar's injury. And Mark Madden makes a nice suggestion that they probably should just end the show.
Oh, please do. Mark Madness, the only time I've ever agreed with you. Let's do it.
And now, fucking Knobs, he just fucking wanders off for an hour.
Oh, it's
Just,
great.
you can't find him.
Where's my bib? Can't find my bib.
How can they fuck that up?
Don't leave that.
Can you imagine if he come back and Sags was in it?
Oh,
Who
God.
put it all the way back there?
It's just,
Knobs.
He's miles away. We lose a load of time. I bet they had to cut one of the matches because he just fucking runs off, gets the wheelie bin full of hardcore weapons.
Ladders, bins.
So, 3 Count initially beat the cack out of Knobs with bin lids. Knobs recovers and he cracks the bins onto 3 Count. There's pit stops all round, but Shane has a mask,
Oh, what a spot.
so he's protected
I
apparently.
can't smell, brother.
He cracks Knobs with a chair. He then whips him into a ladder. 3 Count all takes turns hitting splashes, but Shannon Moore apparently misses the
Who
senton.
crap is this ladder that they've got
But he
to hold
did.
it?
He hit a swanton.
Well, he hit the swanton because he's straight up to do the dance break thing, which is interrupted by the fire extinguisher spot. There's a mop shot onto a chair onto the face of Shane, and Helms is out. And Brian Knobs' music now plays.
I don't think they
know what's going on.
What kind of match? Is this a gauntlet match?
Well, we
Is it
told
elimination.
Elimination.
It's not. It's supposed to be elimination. When he's got to beat all 3 to win his hardcore title back, and basically, theoretically, Shane Helms should be out of the match. But that obviously is not what happens. Knobs grabs a table. Mark suggests that one day he might go for a table and he might not be there. Oh, cheers. And but he
That
says,
kind of did happen though.
well, he says, but there always is. So whatever. I thought, cheers, Mark. The best spot of the match is the power one through the table on the outside, which
I was worried when he was setting him on. I thought,
I
I don't know whether he's going to drop him on his head again.
Courageous does take it well, but he's out. Shannon Moore is waffled with a chair. There's another table slid in. This awful spot now, as Shannon Moore is set up to go through the table. He's drop kicked by Shane Helms, and Knobs tips over the table. Moore lands on top of him. Knobs' foot goes onto the ropes. Nick Patrick counts it, resets it because he says the foot's on the ropes. But it's a hardcore match. How could he possibly deal that the rope is a break? Because he pinned Evan Courageous outside. How could he if he was on the outside and he touched the rope, would that have been a break? It's a rope break. It doesn't make any
It's
sense.
like what they do in a cage match when you put a submission and they grab the rope. So why am you
breaking
breaking the old
the hold,
days cage match?
I think he just fucked up.
Yeah.
And he was
Oh,
supposed to
sorry.
cancel
I know
it.
it'll be on it, but it needs to open.
Yeah.
Carry on.
Just throw a ladder at him, why not?
And then
Yeah. Shannon hands the belt to Knobs.
Where's Sags?
But he gets kicked in the face. There's a Brett Rope splash with a trash can, and Knobs has beat the whole of 3 Count, which, look, I know they am a bit sort of cartoon, they're lower card, but it don't really, it's not a strong message, is it, when, I mean, it isn't as if fucking Hogan's beat 3 men, it's Brian Knobs has beat 3 men.
Well, it's as good as
Hogan.
You've killed any potential move up the card.
I think that
3 Count.
It's not quite Shredder if
Did,
more
but
Bebop.
anyway,
No, Rocksteady beat it,
Yeah.
mate.
Would have been better if fucking
When
Tank
Miss
Cabot had
Bebop-
just come out and choked the shit out of Brian Knobs, wouldn't it, really?
Oh, God, he comes later. Oh,
Yeah,
God. Forgot about that.
tanky tank. And he does the best promo I've ever heard.
Whoa, what?
Jack.
Whoa, I'm looking forward to that. It's bad. It ain't very good.
Nope.
It is what it is. It's just hardcore plunder stuff. I thought when we got past the fact that he didn't get his hardcore stuff for a while, it went okay in terms of it is just inane. I'm going to hit you with stuff. So you got to switch your brain off a little bit. Brian Knobs looks okay. He looks in decent shape.
He looks in the best shape
He's got
he's been
a
in for a while.
newish character.
He's got a different head, I
Yeah,
think, here. He don't quite look like himself.
In terms of, I don't know whether Brian Knobs needs reinventing and pushing.
But he has.
But as a hardcore as a hardcore person to lead the division, I don't think it's the worst choice out
It's
of
probably the
everyone
best
he's
thing
got.
for him at that time. So obviously, you don't have it back in the day. That was brawlers. So
I don't
having him
think
in it works.
3 Count should be in this spot at all. If I'm
Put them
honest
in the
with you. 'Cause
cruiserweight
they've got a
spot.
gimmick, they're fresh, and they should be in a different sort of spot. But we are where we are. It was an okay match until sort of the rope break bit took me out of it. And the fact that Brian Knobbs does beat them all. But at least we've reset to Brian Knobbs is now the leader of the hardcore and we can move them away. Yeah.
Yeah, put him
So
back
I
in
wore-
the tag, cruiserweight.
It was
whatever,
great,
you know.
but I was as annoyed as I was in the previous 2 or 3. So
Just Knobbs' promo at the beginning. Fucking hell, I don't care. But what's the rules? Is it only match? Elimination match? What's going on?
who knows?
But it's a
Happens in every
hardcore match. So as Jack said, you got to turn your brain off. It's just basically let's just watch somebody twat somebody with something. It's just Brian Knobbs. He has changed his gimmick, which is good. He is still the nasty boy. He's a Dudley boy somehow with a different head. But it's just, I don't know, it's weird. And the rope break, that was unnecessary.
Well, I said, look, if you didn't have that awful spot at the end, then this match would have been just a bit rubbish, which is progress for this show.
Yeah.
That spot at the end with the rope break did take the wind out of the match for me. Because, again, I don't quite get the rules, and there just doesn't seem to be any consistency.
It's weird to think that you don't know the rules to a hardcore match where there is no rules.
Someone should have had a look at all these, because I assume that was pre-recorded, all the package.
Yeah.
Some of these just don't need to be shown. Like, some of them are really bad. The promos are really bad.
There's one later.
There's 2. Oh, God. There's 2 now, though, back to back, which...
We are joined by the new Harlem Heat, Big T, Stevie Ray, along with Cash. He's big, and a very brilliant Jay Biggs. Gentlemen, tonight, it's going to be Booker and Billy Kidman, your brother, Stevie Ray.
You know, it's about time we got these 2 pipsqueaks in the ring. Yeah, that means you, Booker. And we're going to make short out of you. And Kidman, bring your squack, and it won't take us very long to get rid of you. And don't trust this sucker, Kidman.
You know what? I got very much to say. But I'll tell you what, Booker and Kidman, get ready, baby. Got the heat. It's on.
Oh, really bad? Like, there's the new Harlem Heat one. So, Stevie Ray.
Fun with Ahmed.
Stevie Ray warns Booker T and Kidman and calls Tori Wilson a squack or
Squack.
And he calls him pipsqueaks, though.
Yeah, what the fuck? And then
What's a squack?
I don't know. And Big T just shouts, "I'm gonna bring the heat!" It's like, what the shit
He's
are
in
you
all of ET, so he
doing?
just thinks I'll shit now.
He says, I'm not gonna get wound up, or I'm not gonna say a lot, or something like that. And then he just screams like it's just mental.
It's typical Ahmed Johnson.
What the fuck has happened to Harlem Heat? But
What the fuck happened to Ahmed?
well, Ahmed isn't a great promo.
Every day I see things and it just horrifies me. And sometimes when I see all these things and bad people, and it just starts to make me think about things and I get ashamed because I just think about really bad things and doing really violent, mean things. And then I got Fit Finley coming into my face and telling me that I got no respect and no responsibility, and he's got to keep pushing the buttons and you know, Fit, you make me think about doing real bad things and being a bad person, and that's not who I want to be. And all I got to say about the whole thing is this the calm before the storm, or is it just a moment of silence for all you sinners?
Me, I ain't changed.
But Jesus Christ, Vampiro. He says something.
Oh, God,
Thinking about
he's-
really violent things. It just rambles on and on and
That's
on.
the
And it's
thing
like
with him.
he's obviously took no. He's got no promo to work. He's just rambling on and on. I mean, at best it's weird. At worst, it's absolute cack. Like, really awful.
It's similar to the worst of Bray Wyatt when he just carried on and on.
Yeah, but at least he had gravitas in the
He
way
had
he presented
gravitas,
it.
but there was, but That's true. He just seemed like a pathetic man.
Yeah, exactly.
In a way, I think
maybe
maybe hero. I just think you need somebody to help you with your
I think
promo
maybe
days.
them trying to get over that he is an awkward, geeky kind of bloke
The
who's all
freaky.
the freak.
Yeah.
Freak at this
And I
point.
kind of get that, but I don't think it helps this style. I think he's very creative, but you don't need to do this because I think it weakens him. I think it makes him look weak.
He don't belong in WCW. He
Well, he
belongs in
should-
ECW.
he
And
shouldn't
Paul
have a
Heyman trying to
promo.
help him.
Yeah,
He'd have done
He
something.
shouldn't have a long promo like that. He
No.
can talk in the way he does, quiet and, for some reason behind a ladder. But it should only be a couple of words.
Well, he didn't even. I don't think he half referenced Finlay.
No,
it's
it's
not.
not calm before the storm, moment of silence for the sinners and all this.
What does that mean?
What-
Yeah.
What are you?
talking about?
What are you? Got a good theme there.
A lot of beef now. Oh well, first of all,
Oh, I
Booker
remember.
T's lost his music, so his music is crap. He's
He
out.
ain't got his tea either.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's just Booker.
Booker then.
He ain't got his tea because Tony Schiavone went and got him for
With a cup of tea.
And
That's why he says on AEW as well.
Have a cup of tea.
Booker is out with his new crap music. There's a whole lot of beef coming out now as Big T, Stevie Ray, Cash, and Biggs.
J. Biggs.
J. Biggs.
Jay Biggs and Clarence
There's
Mason.
Clarence
But it
Mason.
says a lot. I mean, obviously, disregarding Clarence Mason. After the other three, Stevie Ray's the smallest. When you look at him,
That
he's
Cash-
the
who is
smallest.
Cash?
I don't really know what Cash
Cash,
is.
sorry, he's
He's meant to be somebody who knew them from.
Yeah, but
That's the
they
gimmick, wasn't
never
it?
followed up on
He's a big
who
bloke.
he is.
He's a big bloke.
Oh, he's just a big
Bigger
fat,
than
yeah,
Ahmed.
Another commentary spot. Jay Biggs is on commentary as Booker and Stevie starts out. Stevie decks him as Big says he doesn't care what happened to Crowbar. Neither do I. Booker recovers. He hits his kick, and Kidman hits a drop kick on a double down. On a drop down. Sorry. Stevie slams him down. Big T steps in. There's a fucking awful bump on a drop kick. Yes, Booker is in his job. Big T is terrible as he hits a side kick. And he's out of position on that. Booker takes down Cash as Quinton crashes on a jump.
You are now a book.
Double scissor kick onto Billy. Big T mistimes his scissor kick. Cash claws at the face of Kidman. Oh, this spot. So they wrestle now to the outside.
Oh, God.
This is great.
Big T, for no reason, jumps into the crowd. to sort of jump over the guardrail from the crowd to graze, really, Kidman. He splats like a big
I
old
remember
bastard
this. I was looking forward to this.
on that spot. He's a mile away. He barely he gets a fingernail maybe to
Like you
to
drop a
Kidman.
water balloon.
Well, I don't really know what was
Floor.
going through his head as to what.
He used to do that as Ahmed, though. He just a weird
Yeah.
dive. So it's just like, don't do that.
Yeah, but I mean, he used to hit them. He
Yeah.
weren't. He weren't like 5
That's the
stone
thing, he
heavier
looked
than he is.
good.
He's so big,
Now he's just plump.
fat.
Great, what a spot.
Oh, no reason either. Kidman builds the heat with a spine buster for Big T. Booker makes the save. Stevie's in. He misses a charge and a bulldog out the corner. The hot tag's made to Booker. He hits a bookend to Big T, then to Stevie Ray. Double spine buster as Booker is saved by Kidman. Big T sets Booker up for a power bomb, but Kidman comes off the top with a sunset flip. He's hanging on. He's doing the aloha spot, and Booker hits the Harlem side kick, knocks down T, and Kidman rolls him up for the win. Sam?
Oh, man. Just look at Ahmed and I'm just thinking, what happened?
Oh, God. He was a world champion in the making 4 years prior to this.
He was like, somebody you could have thought, you've got something in you. Unfortunately, he had too much of it.
Yeah.
And then now look at you.
It was called meat.
Yeah. Not raw pink meat. But my God, this is just... This poor Booker. That's one of my notes.
What Kidman?
And Kidman,
There's
but poor
some.
Booker.
There's some awful spot. They're desperately trying to make this match as shit as they can make it. There's some awful spots.
Ray and all.
And I can't stress how bad Big T looks now. But the match itself, at the very least, has the psychology of a normal tag match exists within it, which by proxy makes it a mile better than anything we have seen so far on the show. Purely because all I needed to do was a hot tag spot, and it made it better than anything else. And Booker is a million times better than anything we've seen before now. Kidman is probably credible enough to stay like Ray and exist outside of the cruiserweight. Probably his ceiling is here. But he did what he needed to do well. And Stevie Ray, he's so limited, but he had to be the worker of that team.
I mean,
it
should have just been in v Booker. Because at least Booker would have helped.
They have killed Harlem Heat as a credible tag. They don't
just by our
belts, did they? As a team.
No.
Which says it all. It says it all. Where we know where the belts are going in a minute, and they probably aren't at that level. Like, what the fuck, Jack?
Yeah, I mean J Big's own commentary I thought did well.
Yeah, J Big's is a good character, good worker, good J Big.
I thought Booker and Kidman meshed well. I thought they looked like a good team. I don't know whether there should be a team, but they looked like a good team. I thought the match was okay when Ahmed wasn't involved. And when Ahmed was involved, it fell off a cliff.
Can you imagine if you took 96 Ahmed and put it in?
Oh, you've just been beautiful.
But
Ahmed Johnson was everything Booker T became, if you think about it. I know, you know what I mean? Because Booker T had to work his arse off to get the spots that he did. Ahmed Johnson was almost going to be handed the belt and did his absolute utmost to self-implode. It's madness, but what he becomes here.
Oh, he's terrible. And that's the problem. And I don't know who Cash is, but he's supposed to be a bodyguard, obviously, because he's there. And you've shit bagged him, really, in this match.
Well,
he's kicked. He don't ever get any offense. Big T looks awful. Stevie Ray tries his best. You feel like we've wrapped this up. This is finished now.
Done. Yeah, move Booker away. Move Booker away.
Booker, we need to do something better.
Booker and Kidman and moving up.
Yeah.
Stevie and Big T are staying.
You are
where
you ain't moving from here.
We need a Harlem Heat.
and is this pretty much where they sort of fade out of WCW?
I think Big T sort of disappears and he goes on to commentary, though.
Yeah. I think
again, I like Stevie Ray, but they should have just been Booker and Stevie.
Stevie Ray's a really good
foil.
He's a good big bloke
who can come
and just beat.
But he's got to be He's got to be with a worker in the tag team. He can't be the lead.
That's why Harlem Heat was so good.
That's why they're getting Virgil in NWO.
No, he was the leader of NWO.
So the wall does seem to be the big story so far, really. They keep going on about the wall spots, which probably is
the wall.
We get a little build package now. Fit is going to teach this freak respect. Vampiro, he does have such a fresh look. He looks so fresh compared to the rest of this roster. Oh, but by the way, he's got a broken arm.
The both of them?
Both of them got a broken arm.
I love the fact that Sting got a broken arm and he was out for ages, but they get broken arms and they carry on working.
Yeah,
Look, we can't lose the whole roster.
I was amazed that this got a promo package as well. I thought, how did this get a promo package?
And it was rubbish, wasn't it?
Yeah,
really?
I thought it was just thrown on.
Yeah.
Vampiro is the one that was trying to build up as a face, and then all of a sudden, as soon as Russo comes up there, heel with Sting.
Yeah, maybe. I think they probably rushed that, because you can see it in the previous podcast. But I think the key thing with this is that Vampiro has naturally been sort of pushed to a higher level. And then he's at the pay-per-view, he's fighting Fit Finlay in a real throwaway nonsense match. Like, it doesn't really matter. This match doesn't matter at all. Finlay grounds...
What is the point of this?
Finlay grounds Vampiro with big shots. The commentary put over Vampiro as a rookie and an oddball. He hits a spinning heel kick to the chest of Finlay and a spinning heel kick from the top. By the way, it's 4 counts anywhere. As Vamp lays in chops and kicks Finlay. It's literally like that. That's what it feels like with it as a viewer, though. It's like, oh, by the way, False count anywhere. Because we need this to be false count anywhere, apparently.
It's uncensored. You can do what you like.
We spill outside over the commentary where Finlay. Oh, sorry. We spill outside and over to the comms where Finlay. Oh yeah, we spill outside and we go over to the commentary team where Finlay drops Vampiro throat first onto the railings after the table spot. They don't ever break that table, do they? The commentary thing.
No, break that.
Yeah, it's fucking thick.
Massive.
So yeah, now they start spilling into the crowd. It's basically they just punch each other as they go up the steps. There's a sign saying someone has bought a sign that says "Someone please kill Finlay."
What the hell? That's a bit harsh. He's probably one of the better wrestlers you've got in the face.
It's gone all very backstage assault, but Tony's line of "That's the women's bathroom," and they stop and they head to the men's, quite rightly so.
They go, no. We are gentlemen. We have to go to the bench.
After a bit of door work, Vampiro leaps from the top of the bog. And
who was the poor bloke in the bog?
God knows.
What the hell's going on here?
But he gets a bit.
Well, I thought it was a peaceful cat. There's a bat going on. You what?
He gets a bin to the face anyway. Now they start fighting in like a bar area. But the
lighting, is Kane coming?
I think the contrast is good.
Awful.
It's just red. This really is backstage assault.
It's either one of them things that you'll appreciate with the crowd really rabid and caring, or you'll just fucking hate. And I hated it. It just started deviating away from the match. It just fucking killed me. Like I just thought, oh god, like it just feels really cheap. Like something you wouldn't see in WWE, like you're really cheapening the product. Anyway, Finlay does tease throwing Vampiro off the balcony. It's fucking chaos. The fans fight with the security guard.
They push the security guard.
Push him over. All before Vampiro hits a nail in the coffin in the crowd and it's over. Look, I get the story. It's obviously evident to me that they're trying to push Vampiro as a man of the people. He understands this generation. He wins in the generation that he's supposed to connect with. The crowd spot at the end is the best bit of the whole match. Yeah. They're getting over the DDP thing. Vampiro's fine. Finlay is a better worker. Did it need this kind of match? I think it would have been better if it was like he straps him down, he beats him down, he's going to teach him, I'm going to make you a man, and then he keeps coming back and you naturally build it. Then just having a nonsensical throwaway brawl that ends in the middle of it was just a bit crap. And I think as a fan, it was a bit crap to watch. Like, are they like what they did with it? Jack?
I don't know why they're fighting. I don't know why they've been paired up. Because he is a face, Finlay, so it's a bit weird as to why he's now. I'm going to make you a man. I'm teaming with knobs.
We've got a dog.
Like, what the fuck? I'm teaming with knobs. I mean, what they do in terms of moves and everything, okay, fine. And then fight through the crowd. You know, the bit in the toilet's okay. You know, there's been nothing wrong there. The big crowd round them takes away a little bit. I think at the end, you get the image at the end of Vampiro. I don't know why he's man of the people, but he's man of the people and he's, the crowd round him celebrating. So you get that image. So it achieves what it's supposed to achieve of Vampiro's, for some reason, the big babyface hero. But I don't think Finlay's the right person for Vampiro to be slaying because I don't think anybody... Apart from that bloke who wants him to die, I don't think anybody hates Finlay enough to care.
What's he got against Finlay?
And it's just a bit, and the camera going all red for some reason just didn't help. The big, you can't really see him do the nail in the coffin because everybody's fucking mad.
They're too busy pushing the security.
So it sort of got its final image. It got, but how we got there was a bit confusing for me.
I agree.
Yeah, poor Vampiro. Poor Finlay. Poor me. This Vampiro, oh God, please sort your promos out. Get somebody to help you. You need help.
I just think Vampiro's you've got to be protective of Vampiro, and by the end of the year, you can see how overexposed they've made him.
Yeah.
To the point where he's just done within a year.
Yeah, he only had a year.
Yeah, if you think about it, and by the end of the year, he's done as he can, and he's so
He
done.
gets killed by Sting, though, unfortunately.
Well,
He should
true,
at least
but
won a bit of that.
You know, I can understand. I know he probably has. He's difficult to manage. You know, he's got that sort of Latino sort of
Conan.
Well, he's Canadian.
But I'm surprised. Well, yeah, that's true. I'm surprised that Vince and the WWE didn't pick him up because of his look. Because if you call get Sting and you want a gothic character, and he could have had a run with Taker and all that.
I just think Vince looks at him and looks at him in the same eyes as Raven. And doesn't understand what the fuck you are.
Yeah,
but I think by the time,
I think because he ain't like a big, massive look,
and he does work small. But by the time that it gets to the point where Vince would even look at him, I don't think he is of a level where I would have picked him up because I would have just looked at him and gone, he's used goods. I mean, you can't really do a lot with him.
That's right, again. I think he was desperate for ECW. Can you imagine if he was in ECW and Heyman could have helped him?
A creative mind.
Yeah, somebody who could have just gone on now, because look what he did with Raven.
Well, I'm surprised that Kevin Sullivan, and maybe this is where he was going to go, but Kevin Sullivan is occulty, he understands that gimmick.
He's the devil.
But obviously he's not booking within a month anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Double J's with the Harris brothers backstage. He basically says, make short work of this, and they go, we will, and that's pretty much what happens. We go to the Marmalukes.
Get this match out the way.
And Disco cutting a promo. I don't mind Disco as a cack heel manager.
I don't mind him in a way, but at the same time,
and I like the Marmalukes because they're very.
Oh, I don't mind them.
They're a very cool gimmick, and it kind of works that he's sort of their manager. But if you know that if they lose, they're going to sort of take his kneecaps out, and that kind of works.
Well, that's how they did it initially. Well, because it was Tony Marmaluke, who was sort of like the mafia because Disco owed them money. Yeah. That's when they brought in the heavies, which was these. But then Tony Marmaluke went to ECW.
He left WCW?
Yeah, he went to the FBI and then obviously that's why Disco had to. This Big Vito and Johnny the Bull.
Of course, yeah, Johnny the Bull.
No, Big Sal.
So them called the Marmalukes, is that because of Tony
Marmaluke? But he was called Tony Marinara. In WCW.
Okay. So they just called them the Marmalukes.
And then ECW just went, wait, Marmaluke?
I can't believe they used the NWO.
Wow, 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 wow.
They've got some fucking nerve. From
Seed, this is coming out after
Yes.
From Seed, not getting sick of it with Hogan at Mania, to the cheap Rod and Don coming out.
Did they even get the B theme? They should have come out to
or at least Hogan's TNA
There's only three,
which is the Thunder theme.
Give two of the three the B theme.
They are the B team anyway.
I was going to say, because all the A team's gone, Hall's gone, Brett's gone.
Yeah.
Scotty. Nash's Commissioner Gordon. Where's Scott Steiner?
We'll find out later.
He'll appear.
The Marmalukes, which feel a lot fresher than most of the product are out with Disco. Mark Madden completely shits on Disco, which again, I don't get, because he's supposed to be the heel commentator. Why have you chosen?
I think it's just everyone hates Disco. Is the thing.
I want to see the Disco look.
There is a bit of inside rubbish crap though coming through. It's like that sort of inside baseball crap.
I don't like the polymetric curtain.
When it's too much.
Don't need it in this country.
You're insulting the intelligence. So we know what it is. Just shut up.
It's just entertaining, is it?
Disco heads to commentary. We definitely needed another wrestler on commentary.
That was the thing that pissed me off.
Vito rallies out the corner into clothesline and one on the twins. Johnny runs into a kick, but recovers with a scoop slam. Disco and Mark Madden just argue all the time through this match. There's a drive-by kick into a spinning neck breaker. This is no DQ, by the way, we're told.
Is it?
Well, that's what they say. We remember that because you have to have the...
Well, there's a lot of shit that happens there.
Is there a rope break?
Nice falling arm drag by Vito. The H-bomb is renamed the Brooklyn Bomb by Disco as the Marmalukes hit it on one of the Harris twins. They then corner Johnny the Bull now. He's slammed onto the railings, and Harris Twin 1 hits a side slam. Vito is knocked off the apron, and Johnny stays in the heel corner. There's a lot of crowbar talk again. We have a double down spot after twin clotheslines. Hot tag, and Vito rallies for the Marmalukes. 10 corner punches and a gut wrench. Top rope elbow for a 2. There's a heart attack style clothesline, but that we get a save. Double pancake gets a 2, and then a double spine buster.
Pancake?
Well, it's like the double spine buster, but the flat.
Oh, okay.
Double spine buster, but it's blocked. Disco comes in. He clocks one of the twins with the belts and dances as if he's costing the match. He just kicks out at 2.
Oh.
Disco goes back to the commentary desk just to be confused as the twins use the belt on everyone. They hit the H-bomb and win the titles. And they don't even look arsed about winning the titles.
We're
off. We've got to put a cast on there.
Oh, God. They do.
I really struggled with this match. It was bad. Ron and Don have got no one cares.
No charisma.
They don't even look like they care. They just come out in black shirts.
They'd have been better off shoving Jarrett in the corner just to get some heat.
And then you got... I feel sorry for Vito, because Vito to me feels like there's something there where you can work. He's incredible mid-card talent, singles. Move him away from this. The ball still feels a bit green.
Very green. It does a jump early on in the match and he falls off. And
I don't know why he kept persisting with doing springboards, because he was a bit like Sabu, where he just never did them right. And the fact that this goes with him, it's like they are the de facto faces in this match, but they're heel. So it's heel.
Yeah.
I don't care about the Harrises enough. I care a little bit about Vito. I ain't bothered about the Bull. I don't like Disco, so I don't like anything. And the tag titles are in this match. The whole finish of, I use the belt, but I'll just kick out anyway, and then I'll just use the belt and win. So fuck me. It was a shambles, really. And there was a title switch that devalued everything. The only thing I thought was, if it was me booking, I'm going to get Vito away from all this shit, because I think he's got something. But the rest was absolutely...
And Johnny the Bull, he's alright.
I think Vito... I don't dislike the team. I think the issue is, why are you booking these two together? I think you're right. I think Vito has got a lot more about him.
Put a
but
dress
I think because this is a fairly fresh team, that can be a year off, really. You can book towards that. And it's an easy story with a mafia-style turn on, you know.
Take him out.
You know, but I like the story of Disco now having theoretically not helped them and cost them, and then, you know, he can be the one that's up for the hit.
Even with a fish.
It kind of works. I quite like Vito, but I've got to be honest. This was awful. The match was awful, and Ron and Don Harris are just better suited to being suits outside and not having a match. Don't make them a tag team. Don't have them wrestle. They don't need to wrestle. They're just bodyguards. They are awful workers. Like, they get no heat. They don't know how to work a hold. They don't know how. They don't even work like really good big men. They're just heatless bags of shit. And I'm fucking racist, so fuck them. But, you know, I've got no time for the Harris brothers, and it's the state of your fucking tag division if you're telling me and presenting to me that they're the best tag team you've got.
The best tag team they've got is either Booker and Kidman or Norman and the Demon.
Yeah, and we all know they should have left with the belt.
Jesus.
Well, basically, you got to look at it this way. The Mafia v. the Nazis. Who are you going to cheer?
Yeah.
I think I'll leave that there.
Yeah. Well, there you go. There's a limo outside. By the way.
Is it Vince? Any time a limo turned up, it's usually Vince.
Oh, and then this.
Didn't he look at the company and go, nah, not for you. Not for you. Oh, God, this
some commentary time. He basically shows
Sorry, Ben,
respect.
I've got to do it. Carry on. I've got to do it now.
He basically shows respect for Vampiro, saying that, you know, I respect you now. Cheers, bitch.
Keep the fire burning.
Keep the fire burning.
He's cold.
He tries his best. I think they obviously knew. Hang on, they're both going to be in the face part of it in a minute. We've got to now explain why Finlay they're not fighting, so we've got to shove this in there. You didn't, because I wouldn't care anyway.
Why does Vampiro need Finley's seal of approval?
Couldn't he just say, look, the better man one?
Why couldn't
he's a
it
tough
be?
kid.
Yeah,
I know he looks different, but he's a tough kid.
Why couldn't it be Vampiro trying to get Finley's seal of approval?
It was like in war anyway. He was just talking about sinners and all this bollocks.
So, are you a sinner, Finn?
Finally, a bit.
I nearly called him Finn.
He probably is.
Wrong Irishman, sorry.
Finally, a bit of star power. Luger and Flair cut a promo. It's very short, but it's still the best thing I've seen apart from Norman Smiley. Team package, team package, team package, team package.
You can always trust
Flair as bothered. Yeah, he has bothered, but he's still mad enough to make me smile. Our next match has been covered on our Dustin Rhodes retrospective in the archives, but it is Dustin Rhodes versus Terry Funk.
Here we got another one who can make anything better.
Well, basically...
Mental old man who looks like he's shitting.
Basically, the build is that Dustin Rhodes was taken under the wing of Terry Funk and turned on his mentor, which then just literally made Terry Funk put nappies on chickens.
Weird, like Dustin is the heel, but Terry's doing all the heel work.
And this is the problem with the whole match. Some of the highlights of the match then. So initially when he walks out, he's holding a chicken. He gives a load of shit to Dustin Rhodes. And then he says he's bringing out his brother, which isn't Cody.
America had more than one wrestling family. Royal family.
The Funks.
Chicken.
The guy in the chicken suit.
Mania.
Dustin chases this chicken around and they pipe in clucks. By the way, just to confuse the upcoming main event Yapapapi Strap match, this is a bull rope match with no there's no real attempts at a corner thing, and I don't think they do.
Was that the same as? I know it was in the WWE because we say our Great American Bash. And that did have the.
You don't have to.
No, that was a good match. I really liked that match.
Oh yeah, the only thing on that.
That's the only thing that. But I thought the bull rope match previously with Dusty wore really the corner thing. It was just you can't get away and he's
maybe it could very well be that. Basically, the match is a bit by the numbers. Terry Funk shows up Dustin a little bit, but he does take a bit of a whooping. He crotches him at one point, and Dustin chases the chicken on the outside, and Terry Funk then attacks it. He's
I really fancy some chicken. Keep watching this,
yeah.
to be honest.
The best bit, though, is when Terry Funk confuses the fuck out of whether he's a heel or a face, and he just changes the rules.
I'm making it
live quick match. The ref refuses, and he said, "You're full of shit."
Punches corrects him with a cowbell. This is the proper crazy old man you need.
Oh, mad.
Funk pounds down Dustin with the bell. Funk wants Dustin to quit. Dustin does quit, but the ref refuses to accept this, even though he could, in theory, I think. Dustin clocks Funk with the bell, and he hits a pile driver and wins. Just the biggest problem with this, and he probably is in with a shout for match of the night, is that the heel thing is, I don't quite understand whether Dustin is heel or not. In fact, he takes such a beating that he gets sympathy, and Funk should be the old veteran being beaten down by, I want to say, the young up-and-comer is Dustin Rhodes.
Got the old head.
You know, I think Funk needed a bit more guidance and just to temper his absolute crazy shit.
But then again, I think that's what makes him unique. I think the fact that the whole company is crazy.
Well, maybe he needed to be heel.
He gets.
Yeah, he was a heel.
Maybe he needs to be heel on Funk.
I don't think he needs to be heel. I just think he needs to be the crazy old man who no one can control.
Possibly.
Who he just goes out and just beats everybody up, whether them chicken in nappies or whatever.
Well, I mean, like I say, it probably is in with a shout of...
Come on.
It probably is in with a shout of match of the night, but at the same time, I think because of the booking, it just confused me too much for me to consider that. Jack?
Yeah, I was confused. The only reason I knew Dustin was the heel is through looking at what happened on different shows and video packages of where he's fighting faces, I thought, oh, Dustin's the heel. But even his promo, he calls himself the American Nightmare, he feels like the face.
Yeah.
And then, Terry's doing everything heel work. Dustin's getting the face, well, there ain't a lot of reaction, but Dustin's getting a bit of a face reaction. Like you say, the sympathy. You then only realise, it feels weird when he runs off at the end.
Yeah.
Because then it's like, well, you've sort of been painted as the face.
Yeah.
Now you're the heel because you've ran off. Oh, yeah, I remember you're the heel.
Yeah, reset again.
It was so confusing, so disorientating. I felt like I'd been spun around about 50 times watching this match. What they do bell to bell, okay, isn't great, but isn't bad.
No, it's not.
But the use of them both. Like Teddy Funk versus Dustin Rhodes, the bull rope match, you feel like that should be good.
And there's a story either with his feud with
the father, but they get them the wrong way round originally. Then they just play him the right way round, but then the wrong way round, and then the match descends into an I Quit match, which ain't an I Quit match, and it's just chaos.
It might have been better as an I Quit match just
at
the start, because you don't need a bull rope match on a show that's been headlined by a bloody strap match.
But you could have had it say, look, I've got this bull rope. It's not a bull rope match, but you can't get away from it.
Yeah, I'm going to stop you.
I'm going to stop you getting away. So
that
the bull rope can be used in different ways.
That probably would have been the logical way of using it, to be honest.
But he's Terry Funk. He's just brilliant.
He is tremendous. Gene is with Sid, who won't let Jarrett bother him, and he's going to watch his own back.
Oh, yeah. Double J Jarrett! I love that.
You got to watch his thing, because I think we watched the build-up to it, where every promo, he just went, and Uncensored, 2000! And that was all these promos for it.
At the start.
Yeah, he did. This promo piece makes me want to watch this in long form, because this next bit is fucking weird as hell, isn't it? I mean, Luger dressed as Sting, loads of arm breaks, a crow, a bat. Where's Liz? It's just fucking amazing. What the fuck's gone on here?
Am I the only one that thinks Luger looks more like the NWO Sting?
Yeah,
the proper Sting.
NWO Sting.
Yeah, but I love
with
it.
The face.
I want to now almost watch this match in a microcosm with all the build, just to see that package where he's scared of a crow when Liz disappears and then turns and then where's the bat, Liz? Where's the bat? And then there's something where there's like Sting is in the thing, but then he takes his wig off or something. It's just I don't know what happened, but I watched that package.
Was that similar to when Taker cut his wig before
Right. I love it. Luger, he's fucked at this point. You can tell he ain't quite.
I don't know. It gets worse the year after. You see him later. Jeez.
He's having.
Is he actually Luger? He had become the total package yet?
It's the total package.
I love this because he's.
Also, Luger's dead and it's the total package.
He's the narcissist again, eh? So, first of all, the lumberjacks come out. They've all got casts on. I can't believe Kurt Hennig was just used as fodder on the face side. He's Kurt fucking Hennig. If you've got him, use him. What the fuck?
No.
Don't know.
Jimmy Hart.
He's
the level of Jimmy Hart.
Jimmy Hart and
Doug Dillinger, who Tony loves.
Oh, Tony loves Doug Dillinger. Look at Doug Dillinger there. Look at Doug.
Unfortunately, we have to look at him a bit more in a bit.
And I love the fact that Luger's gone back to doing his narcissist gimmick with the fucking stripping of him and the light.
But I do like the fact that he keeps looking back like, so somebody's going to jump me. So,
Jimmy Hart.
Yeah.
Jimmy Hart loves this. From here on out,
it's the Jimmy Hart
show.
Oh, God, and that's where I completely cut it.
They're great.
But for all Luger's faults and people don't like it, I quite liked him. He had good character work in
he couldn't work in ring.
He couldn't Sting, so he was going to enjoy working with Sting.
Well, exactly, because that was mate. But I think this is his proper character, the narcissist.
Totally.
That's who he is.
That's who he
was.
And he
was
at that point. Yeah, loves God.
He takes the microphone. He apologises to everyone for breaking their arm, but he has his own lumberjacks. Out comes the heel locker room where
he took a while after every one of their matches. He goes, "I'll break your arm."
I don't know. Why do they have to wear the cast? Is it just
because they've got a weapon? So wig and
got a broken arm.
I know. And
Tony.
Tony tries to explain this, but I think even he just gets to the point where he's fuck you.
There's only 3 matches left.
Yeah. Sting gets a pretty nice reaction. It's the first time I think the crowd have seen anyone with any star power so far. Luger jumps Sting to start, but Sting rallies. The heels Lumberjacks helps Luger regroup. The best thing I liked was Hugh Morris's t-shirt, which he was wearing, which just had Hugh on the back. Who's gonna buy that?
Anyone called Hugh?
Hugh. Big rights and a jumping elbow for a 2. Luger is dumped out on to the face Lumberjacks, and he beats him up. They beat him up a bit. All the Lumberjacks now get into it as Sting yells for the crowd. Sting then is dumped to the heels. Out walks a tramp. Oh no, sorry. Out walks Tank Abbott. He looks like a proper southern tramp, doesn't he? Like he's in his bloody.
They could have had a better.
He looks like he's gone to Benidorm and he's took his top off and he ain't quite tanned.
He ain't quite shaved.
Yeah, he looks trampy.
I reckon if you grew your tash with it, you'd have a Tank Abbott beard.
Don't become a Tank Abbott.
I ain't going to become him though.
Well, you do wear the fat man shorts.
Fat man shorts.
He absolutely.
You've got to have the tattoos on the back of your thighs, back of your calves. I think.
I can't believe anyone thought he had fucking world championship potential. What the fuck
I
is
don't
going
care
on?
if he's a legitimate fighter, which he was. He just
Don't
hasn't
have
got the
charisma.
look for
It's basically WWF got Ken Shamrock, and we have Ken Shamrock at home.
They yeah.
We have what's left.
He decks Doug Dillinger. So the story is, I think he's feuding with Doug Dillinger.
I don't know why, but why? Are we having a match? You know, are they going to have a blow off?
You know what? I've got
because he goes into, believe it or not, fighting Barbarian after this. That is his thing after this.
But WWF do something. We'll see it later on with Steve Blackman and the head of security there with the
but at least he was big and looked like.
I think that was around the
Doug Dillinger looks like an old darter. Like, what the fuck's
It
going
looks
on?
like a BDO quarterfinalist.
Yeah.
I think that's completely best as he got a jet.
Martin Adams.
I missed something.
Wolfie.
Oh, I got you.
He does look like Wolfie. The Lumberjacks kill the gimmick because they just fuck off. They have a fight up the.
Is this has Jimmy Hart already come out with got Liz in it? And it's I'm going to whack you. I'm going to whack you.
Oh God! So it's Chinlock inside. If you didn't want to use the gimmick, why book the gimmick? Flair is out now, which is stupid because you should have held back on Flair. He's out with Liz, a bat and a chair. Vampiro's still there, by the way. He didn't fuck off. He fights Flair, which again at least legitimises Vampiro. Sting is in. Sting is in. He now sells Flair's offense and then gives a Stinger splash, hip toss, Stinger splash to Luger, but Liz is up, hits him with a bat. Jimmy Hart comes down, threatens to give her a whooping with the Hogan belt, isn't it? It is Hogan's belt.
It's Hogan's belt.
Almost reminding the crowd. It was all Hogan.
Hogan. Jimmy Hart is very tanned, and I don't like him without glasses.
He's still got him on here.
Well, he looks weird when he takes them off.
I don't like Jimmy Hart anyway.
That's true. I think we've said the more we've done this podcast, the more I despise Jimmy Hart.
Luger gets a cover for the 2. He Len locks Luger into the rack. Vampiro, I don't know who distracts the ref because there's no one left. I think it must be Flair.
He just sort of turns around and goes, what's
going on here? Because Vampiro uses the bat to the back of Luger, and then Stinger hits a Stinger drop and it's over. I mean, what an overbooked mess of a match. All that is a blow off for what has been a fairly lengthy dominant run for Luger, and it ends like that. Jack?
Yeah, I mean, it started okay, and then it quickly descended into chaos. I mean, the Lumberjacks just brawl with each other. Tank turns up, which is an amazing spot, but so unnecessary. Then the whole gimmick of the match, they just bugger off. Apart from Vampiro, for some reason, you spoil Flair, who gets sort of shitbagged in this whole segment. So you've ruined the main event man, looks like a bag of shit.
Yeah.
You've sort of given Vampiro more credibility, which I don't mind. You know, he's helped Sting win. I don't know whether he should help him win, but you know, you get the hug at the end. So he's got Sting's seal of approval. You move him. I mean, Vampiro's the one who comes out looking the strongest in a match between Sting and Luger.
Yeah.
Vampiro and Tank.
Madness.
But even Tank just punches.
Well, Tank might have come out looking okay until he speaks.
Yeah, in a minute.
Oh, yeah. I know that.
Then he completely does it.
Yeah, you're completely right. I mean, that's my next line. So, it's just an overlooked mess. But Tank Abbott, any sort of... he's not very imposing, is he, either? He looks like a little old bloke.
He's a podgy man.
Yeah. That's the problem. I mean, he obviously is a legitimate UFC fighter because he had a decent career, but he's in WWE, in wrestling, you've got to have the look, and he just looks.
He's got no charisma, and I can prove he's
like a tramp. He does look like a tramp.
He had a proper realization that
he's a tramp. But he does though. He's like somebody. Give him a sandwich to have a fight. So that's why he become good at it. Because he wanted a sandwich.
Tim Brooks, like when he had the hat and the shirt under his hat and everything like that. At least he had a bit of charisma with it. He just looks like a tramp with no charisma.
I mean, well, he loses all luster now because we immediately go backstage to Gene. Now, he's not got a very imposing voice, so what he says is going to be important.
Quite soft.
Why did you attack Doug Dillinger?
Tank Abbott, during the course of that lumberjack match, you felt compelled to take out Doug Dillinger. Why?
Because I can, Gino. He's in the computer, and I'm going to tell you right now, he's out there as a participant. Let him try to take my money. What's he going to do? He's nothing but a stupid lumberjack. What, you take my money now? I don't think so.
I did it because I can, and because
he's in the computer.
He's in the computer, and then taps his head. And
who's acting?
I mean, I'm just gonna play it in and splice it in, but oh god, it doesn't make any. If he just said, you know, who is he to run security when I'm around, or something. I mean, why he chose Doug Dillinger is beyond me anyway, but something. I don't.
All he needed to say was because I can.
Yeah,
that's it.
That's it. Yeah.
Stupid lumberjacks take my money. Thanks, Tank. See you next week, King. I was Janet.
Oh god, we get told now. There's a slight change to the format.
Oh god, here comes Mike Graham.
Jesus, a slight change to the format, being the rest of the card has changed. Order. Sid is caught out as Mike Graham tells him. It tells him to change the format. He goes, "What? Fucking hell!" and runs to the ring.
What is that? What's the point there? I don't really get what.
Don't need to show it. Yeah. Don't need to show it.
What is it? What are we
supposed to show? That whatever stroke Jarrett has got, he's been able to manipulate it, which has led to Sid going into it weaker because he's been caught out.
He looked ready though.
Within a minute, within the match, it's fine.
I was going to say Sid was dressed.
He sounded like he
was in the middle of putting like his tights on his bow tie. Hang on a minute.
So
and surely, if you've got the stroke, wouldn't you put yourself in the main event?
Well, possibly, but
Jarrett's an idiot.
Yeah, maybe, but maybe it's because he's trying to catch Sid off guard. But,
yeah, I don't care. He's an idiot.
Yeah, well, he's difficult as a character.
He's US champ. Why is he in this match?
Well, maybe because that used to be the number one contender. So he could have used it.
He was in the title match the month before, or with Scott.
Yeah.
Was he US champ?
Don't know whether he was.
He was.
Him, Scott, and Sid in the three-way.
I do think him holding the belt though does sort of take away a mid-card title, which probably this card needed.
Yeah, I agree.
Buffer makes his monthly pay date as he does. I can't believe they paid him to do these.
He only got this match as well.
He got. Yeah. How much did he get paid? Was it like $250,000
every time?
Every time, $250,000.
Well, Jesus.
Jeff is out with the beautiful women of the NWO. One of the ladies nearly has a tumble as she walks out. Bless her.
The beautiful women of the NWO.
23 years later, Jeff Jarrett is still getting title shots. Booker of the Year. Jeff says he has been screwed out of the title and basically promises the women will
You're
get
holding
naked.
a belt?
Well, he has, yeah, that's true. But
He wants the main one.
he wants the main one. What I don't like...
You ain't good enough.
well,
Never mind.
I don't quite like the fact that he promises that the women will get naked if he wins, instantly making him face with the crowd.
Terrible.
Because Tony says, well, I want him to win now.
NWO, who do you want? Sid or Tits? I'll take Sid.
Sid gets an amazing pop as Buffer calls him truly one of the greatest big men of all time. Brilliant.
I do like his dub theme
Yeah,
on the
good.
network. It's better than his proper theme.
Yeah. So, Jeff fails to jump and he's given 10 in the corner. Jeff pokes the eye and escapes a choke slam. He takes a clothesline to the outside and he's slammed on the table. Sid then sends us into the crowd, which we definitely needed on this card. More fucking chaos. Sid is on top. Mark Madden tries to save kayfabe, saying that the referee is choosing not to count them out. Doesn't quite explain why he chooses not to DQ them when the Harris twins
It's
come in.
uncensored. You can do what you want.
Well, see, now it must be now DQ. Nick does stop Jeff grabbing the chair, though, so there is limits.
No weapons.
Yeah.
No weapons.
Jeff lays in big punches to Sid, locks in a sleeper hold. Sid fades, but stops the 3-arm drop. Sid, he does wrestle very... He's been taught how to wrestle in the 80s. That's how I'm going to wrestle. Sid catches Jeff on a double axe handle, lays in a big foot. Jeff is sent into the world title. Strangely, it seems that the Harris twins now tell Nick Patrick to count the pin, which is kicked out at 2. There's a big chokeslam, which is blocked. Jeff catches the ref, so we have a ref bump. There's a face plant. Jeff cracks the guitar onto Sid. Evil ref, and he's fucking goofy as fuck. Evil ref Slick Johnson comes out for the count. But Happy Hulk is there to stop it.
In full gear.
Yeah, he drops the leg, which gets Sid the win. Poor Sid. Can't get his powerbomb. Scott Steiner, who was presumably in the limousine, runs in off camera. That's pretty much the reveal from earlier. Sid and him have a brawl, and them and the twins and Jeff and everyone fuck off, which brings out Flair, and he beats down Hogan, and we go straight into the main event, which is Flair v Hogan. But we will pause it there. Just to breathe and go, what the fuck was that?
Yeah, it was bad. I mean, you've made Jeff a face, but he ain't really a face. It's tits that are face. You're still heel. It's tits that are over. Tits are over in this. Well, to be fair, the tits were the only thing that were over.
If you look at the card, you've probably got Hogan as your number 1 babyface and Tits as your number 2
and then
babyface.
Norman.
Sting is number 3, and then Norman.
This was an abomination of a match. I didn't expect it to
Poor.
be great. It's
I mean,
Jeff and Sid.
Sid always suffers because he's not a great worker and he doesn't work like a
Jeff
babyface.
is a good worker.
Or a taker.
Just handcuff both of them.
Yeah, well, I think Jeff's a good worker, but I think Sid's a
ain't that
difficult
level,
one because he gets such a good reaction, but he doesn't work like a babyface. He works like an 80s heel, and he's a real anomaly. Sid is because he's so popular, and I do love him so much, but he's just difficult because he's really difficult to book because you've got to make him a heel. But it's impossible because he's so fucking charismatic.
He's similar to Terry Funk without the work rate.
Yeah,
he's like a big jacked up Terry Funk in that he's just mental.
People just love him.
People love him. Obviously, with Terry Funk, you kind of know why because at least he can work. But we see it's just like
you've still shit on him here at all because Hogan's basically got him.
Yeah. I'd have had him turn, but myself. I mean, I know you probably don't need that, but I don't quite get it. Like, where have we got back to Hogan 94 all over again? Like, you know what I mean? Have we? Surely we've learned the mistakes of that, which is why we turned him heel.
Yeah.
And we've quickly forgot all that and gone immediately back to Hogan stealing the win for the fucking world champ.
But at the time, he
with his
was
friends.
sort of flicking between the two, wasn't
A little bit, but
he? He was doing the big
as he
foul.
said, the Hollywood side might come out in this
Yeah.
match and all that.
Yeah, it
But
don't.
yeah, the whole title match was atrocious.
yeah, it was awful.
Yeah, it was.
Well, we get strapped up as Mark reminds us that
Excuse
you've got to get all four corners need to be tapped for the Yapapapi Strap match to be won.
Yapapapi.
So yeah, Flair locks in the straps and he straps down Hogan for a little bit. Soon Hogan recovers. Jimmy Hart's out, by the way. Hulk sells doesn't sell, I should say, the chops on the outside. Hulk is on top. He straps Flair. Flair recovers and chokes down Hulk with a strap. Hogan has the fans behind him, at least, as Flair puts the strap to the mouth of Hogan. There's a low blow by Hulk to Flair, which we don't really see. And Hogan uses his belt, his own belt, to belt down Flair, which doesn't make any sense when you've got a belt, but okay.
That's the gimmick.
Yeah.
That's the strapation.
There's a load of no-sold chops. Hulk chokes Flair. Flair tries to walk it off, but he's stopped. Hulk bites the head of Ric Flair, which busts him open, apparently. He begs it off, but he's clotheslined down. Flair takes his top rope bump. We go outside. Jimmy Hart gets some shots in on Flair. Hulk beats Flair up the aisle, which kills the gimmick a bit because it's all about stopping him escaping and you're letting him escape. Luger wanders out, bonks Hulk with a chair, and wanders back off.
I love that. You just go out and then he bothers up and Hogan's dead.
God, I mean, Hogan's chair shots some weak.
Yeah, but that was really weak.
Oh, you hate backing Hogan with a chair.
But it blades him very straight, but he's very bladed.
Oh, yeah.
Flair is on top. Flair straps down Hogan. He's beaten down in the corner. Flair chokes him down, but Jimmy's in to stop him. He gets chopped down. Finally, Flair starts the corner taps. He finally starts the corner taps. He taps 3 corners, but Hulk stops the momentum. We're told that if he's knocked down, that would be it. It just doesn't feel right. Flair has a taped object which he takes out of his boot. He clocks Hulk and knocks him down. Flair covers Hulk and it's counted. For fuck's sake. Hulk kicks out, big boot, touches 3 corners. Luger is out, clothesline, leg drop. He covers Flair, gets a 3, and then thinks, oh fuck, jumps up and touches the 4th corner to end this monstrosity of a match and a pay-per-view. We quickly get out of here. That's it. Jesus cack, rubbish cack is my comments.
Jesus cack, rubbish cack.
Awful!
Yeah.
Awful! Bash of the Beach 94, Uncensored 2000. Awful, 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 awful. Terrible, Jack.
Yeah, it was great. It started weird. You know, you don't get the entrances, which is a lot of what they are, the pomp and circumstance and buffer. And then the actual strapation match is just a bit like punch, kick, brawl. I know them old, and they look old. I mean, Hogan looks old. He's older then than he does now.
That fight really like old men.
Yeah, it's just a bit.
They need to go away for a bit, I think.
It's just
that's why the
match.
match with Rock was because we saw you for a while. Because you did have fans who purely watched WF, purely watched WCW. The WCW fans were sick of Hogan. They can never get sick of Flair. Well, it's like if Hogan would have stayed with WF, they would have got to that point where it's like, you know what, at least he's our guy.
I think the thing that they did in '94, which was sensible, is they recognised the one thing that they could present that WWF never did was the Hogan versus Flair match. The fact that they didn't represent this as a lifetime match, like you say, all you got to do is get Buffer out there. Make it about the 2 icons of the sport. Finally settling the score.
One last match,
whatever it could be. the fact that Hogan and Flair are just fighting in a non-consequential waste of time, and I think they fought on the Nitro leading up there in some derivative of a handicap or a tag match.
I think it was a tag. I think Hogan and Flair teamed up.
It's a bit like what they did with Orton and Cena, where you know you always wanted that match because it was the two big players, and then they had a year where they wrestled in every match to the point where it just killed everything. It just didn't, and you know you can't afford to be overexposed on a roster as thin as the WCW roster,
which is weird considering a couple of years before you had over 100 people.
Yeah.
And yet now it's
that is
just,
the madness.
It's just,
they've just paid for the fact they never built anyone up there.
Yeah.
And how ironic that I think he's still got a lot of legs to he's still falling and plummeting, but we've ended up where we began. You know, WCW started to build momentum when they got Hogan and they booked him with Flair, and they've ended up with the only star power that they have in the company as Hogan and Flair.
And the mid card is his friends Knobs. I mean, Duggan's TV champ.
Oh, that's when he found it in the bin, wasn't it?
Yeah,
at least that was a story, and he mainly defended that on like worldwide and stuff.
No, but I mean the whole mid card has regressed.
It has regressed. The TV title, I'll defend Duggan. I like Duggan.
No, I ain't.
And I like the TV title. At least it wore like on Nitro and all these. At least it wore on this. You know, it was like you'd understood where it was. But the TV title did die later, didn't it?
Yeah, it constantly died and was brought back
because Scott all chucked it in the bin.
I mean, final thoughts on Uncensored 2000.
What a waste of time.
It could be one of the worst pay-per-views across the whole show that we've ever done.
Yeah,
it's TNA level bad because nothing really felt good. You know, everything just felt really shit. At least it was funny at times, but I was smiling for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
It's atrocious.
Yeah.
I felt drunk without drinking. So you just, after the next day, after watching it, you think, did that really happen? What happened here? I can't remember.
In the words of Bobby Heenan, are we reviewing Uncensored 2000? Well, I'm drinking. Because
I'm with you, Bobby, mate.
I think as a major company, and I don't judge TNA as a major company, really. There's only two. This is the worst pay-per-view we've done from top to bottom. Even the silly cage match had one or two little matches.
96.
One or two matches that sort of saw it. There's nothing.
Uncensored again.
There's nothing redeeming for this. Nothing redeeming. Even where cards weren't brilliant, you saw some level of storyline development. I have to be honest, I don't know what I would have done after any of the matches on this card because of how badly they were booked.
Yeah, that's true. What moved forward after this?
I can't think of anything. I mean...
Well, the reset was pretty quick.
Yeah, and I think you desperately... What it needed to do is come off the air now. If they knew that that's what they needed to do, they needed to bring it off the air and reset it for April. Give it a month to breathe. Forget all this. And then we'll reset everything.
I think that's what Bischoff would have done right. If he'd have bought it, that's what he was going to do. Or he'd just say, we'll stop in here and we'll come back in May. So
I tell you, the only thing that's been booked is the war. And I'll stand by that. The only thing that I can see where you can logically moving forward is the wall. Norman is naturally over.
Brian Knobbs looks like a badass.
He looks like a... wider. No.
So, normally, it's, you know,
easy.
Yeah, it's not easy, this match of the night.
Oh, God. It's hard, really hard to find anything good. But I'm going to go, oh, God. Booker and Kidman v Harlem Heat.
But he'll go with Sam.
I'm just going to go with a ball route match just because it's Terry Funk and at least he's mental, so he's got an excuse.
I'm going to have to go Booker T and Kidman versus Harlem Heat. At least Booker T.
Nothing to do with Big T.
I mean, literally.
That would have been my second choice.
anything, and I think I'll accept it. Worst match.
I'm going to go tag titles. It was really the match where I'd nearly give up. I don't do that a lot.
I'm probably going to go the Cruiserweight title just because it was the first match and I'd get up. And it was sort of like, this was meant to be your thing.
Well,
look at what happened.
I'm going to go with Sting versus Luger because it the story going in
just say
is the fact that Luger's on this rampage. He's got a ready-made story. And God, by the end of it...
It was the main story.
It was the main story and it was ruined. MVP?
I'm going to go Norman. I just thought he was great.
I don't think you can... I think there's only 3 that you could say.
Yeah, I'm going to go Norman.
And Mike Tenay, to be fair, tried his best.
Mike Tenay desperately. They needed to calm that. I think if they'd have just gone, we are going to do the normal trope of a heel commentation, just had Tenay and Schiavone, it would have been fine.
It would have worked.
I think Norman, The Wall, and Funk are the 3.
The Wall probably is the one who...
But I've gone with The Wall because I think he does come out stronger than he probably ever deserves to be. But he does come out stronger. And, I mean, God almighty, LVP.
It could be anyone, really. Could it? LVP.
Well, I've got mine.
I'm going to go Sid, because I just think this bloke's got summer, and you've really done your best to shit on him.
Yeah, it's the one thing that...
Even Steiner to a certain degree, because, this is a star, and you've just... They've built this limo up, and he's the one who we think was in it. I don't even know. So, what the fuck?
Well, they say he could have been the ref that was in there as well.
That could have been Jack Johnson. I think I'll go with Sid, because he's world champ.
I have put Sid myself. I think realistically the LVP has to be WCW. Just WCW. I can't think of anything.
Oh, I was going to say the same. The company.
Yeah.
So
everyone
you thought this was acceptable.
Everyone involved.
You fool.
You made your fans pay for this.
Oh God! You don't forget. In March 2000,
it gets worse.
You had to convince the wrestling world that they should part with money for Uncensored 2000 over WrestleMania.
This got less buys than an ECW show in 2000.
Yeah.
Did it?
Yeah. This got, how many was it?
30,000.
30,000 ECW. Was it Living Dangerously?
I think.
What? So they got 3 times as many. As
yeah,
this?
3 times as many, and that's
so.
ECW in 2000. And you know how much I hate that shit.
Yeah, but at least they tried. At least if you watch ECW today, someone will come out or a storyline will spin out, and you'll feel like, I want to see what happens with him. I want to see where that goes. I can't think of anything on this card. That I would, if I just landed on the earth, happened to buy this pay-per-view, I can't think I would ever watch wrestling ever again.
I think I'd leave.
That bad.
This is... you make me pay for this? I'm leaving.
So, we take the, I think, fairly easy, made difficult because of the weak company, to rebook it and make it, at the very least, passable. I'm going to open with Sam, I think, for your rebooking of us.
Okay. I've got 7 matches.
Cool.
That's it.
Yeah.
I'll give some sort of gimmick to each.
Okay.
Because it's Uncensored.
Yeah, I get that.
There's Bobby Eaton was there. So the first match, I think I might have done these in order for a change. The US title match.
Yeah.
Because you've got the US belt, you can defend it.
Yeah, I get that.
Jeff Jarrett v Vampiro. You're building him up.
Mm-hmm.
Have him win it.
Yeah.
And I'll put it in the casket match.
Yeah.
Build his gimmick, you know.
Yeah, he has to.
Have something like that, you know. And then you can bury the NWO. You can do the whole thing where the NWO's on the.
That's a big. It's a big. That would be a big. That would be a big thing for Vampiro as well, to be the one who, in the books, buried the
NWO. That's his gimmick. He kills it, and you could maybe turn him heel or whatever when he wants to kill Sting. So do something like that, you know.
Well, maybe
you know,
he just
Vampiro
gets
just
cocky
marked
because
on-
he killed the NWO and Sting didn't.
Exactly. There you go.
Right,
You've just booked the rest of it. Thank you. Next match, Funk v Dustin Bull Rope. I just want to keep it because it's mental. But I think I might just keep it as not the full corner touching. I'm in a ball rope. It's leading up for Dusty. If you want to have chicken, have chicken. You know, whatever.
You want to have pork, have pork.
You want to have chicken, have chicken.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. The next match. Okay, I don't think these are in order because I won't follow these two up. Sting Luger, I'll make that the strap match. You broke his arm. Why not have him strapped on his
Yeah,
arm?
I'll get that as well.
Instead of the lumberjack with everybody who's got a busted arm. Sting's got to win, really, from what's happened.
Yeah,
But at least make it a strap match saying, look, you've got to have it on your broken arm. It's not healed, so, you know, and I'm strong man. Look at me. Look at my tiny pants. You know, whatever. Hardcore match. It's Knobs v Finlay v Norman v 3 count. You can have it like a big brawl thing.
6 man.
6 man, you know, why not? Have them go all over the place. Norman's win.
Yeah.
Because it's Norman. Finlay's with Knobs. You can add him feud with 3 count and, you know, you just boy band, you're not hardcore. Norman just appears.
Just
because
at
it's
the end, Finlay
Norman.
say he respects Evan Courageous.
No.
For the hardcore title, is it?
Yeah, this, you know, it's just like a big brawl. No, I wouldn't have that. But you know what I mean? Because no, but you know what? He's like pissed off because of this boy band who's, you know.
Yeah, I think it's good. I think it's
hardcore,
sensible booking that.
You can just and again just have Norman in it because he can be like the middleman when what's he doing here?
Yeah.
And he wins it, you know, and then he can fight with Ming and have Ralphus. Right, Cruiserweight title, I just had to do what I work with. Artist Psychosis Hoover. Because I had to have the juice for some reason.
Exactly what I meant.
I would somehow put the mask back on Psychosis.
I would have had him
Hoovy,
walk
I'm
out
alright
with
with
the
that.
mask. Just fucking ignore anything that's ever
Yeah,
been
just
before.
look, we're doing a reset.
Yeah.
Of a reset.
I don't know whether they ever lost him in WCW, to their credit, though. It might be one of them things where
Hoovy did, because he lost it to Jericho. So that I agree, I'm alright with. Psychosis, I think, because Bischoff wanted all of them to take the mask off, that's why he wanted Ray at Halloween Havoc 97.
How can you not see the monetisation? Bischoff isn't stupid either. How can you not see the monetisation? Just because they couldn't, I can't tell stories if you can't see their faces.
Well, that's the same with Russo. He was the same.
Got it.
You ain't got him, you've never booked him to tell a story, you moron!
Yeah, I mean, look at Vince and what he said, put that mask back on.
Yeah.
And I'll make money. I think I'll put Psychosis out because he's the one that's always forgotten. You could spin off with him and Hoovy, like, you know, you've had it before, I've never had it. So literally, he only outrailed it once. And
Psychosis did?
Yeah, and he was just defending it for somebody else, I think. Or was that the IWGP? He could have been that. But I know he only held the Cruiserweight once, and it was only like a day or something. He held it, and that was it. So you could do something like that, because he's the...
God, that's an easy story to write then.
Yeah. You got Psychosis.
Keep an idea of history, you bastard.
Exactly. Right, tag titles. Marmalukes v Booker and Kidman.
Yeah.
Keep the book, and this is a tornado match, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Just because you need something.
Yeah.
And have Booker and Kidman win, and you might want to keep the thing.
Yeah,
if
the
you want all of
dynamic,
these.
Not only that, if you want to spin Kidman out as a heel, it makes sense.
It makes sense, and at least the booth can work, so you've got that. Right, the world title match is a cage match. To keep Luger out, to keep everybody else. It's Hogan v Sid v Flair.
Yeah.
Why not? Just fucking have them go at it. Have Sid as a monster heel who don't care about anybody.
Yeah.
Hogan. Flair, mental Flair. I'll probably keep Sid winning. Maybe have him escape because at least Hogan and Flair probably ain't going to want to get... Well, Flair will probably get pinned. But, you know, Hogan ain't. But, you know, you can have the escape. Sid wins. Still champ, monster, whatever. That's the only thing I can think of. I mean, who else you got, really?
No, I don't mind Sid.
Goldberg's gone, Steiner's in a limo somewhere.
Had Sid and Goldberg feuded at this point, or does it build to that?
Had he killed his cars yet?
I think he builds to it because he comes back, he's heel.
Yeah.
He's heel, Goldberg.
He turns it great,
Great, make him... Because
and then I
when...
think he then turns face again, and I think it's that feud where he busts his arm. Mind you,
He busts his arm in the NWO because he goes to the limo, and instead of using the pipe that was clearly left for him, he tried to be a tough man.
That was the problem.
He dropped
He
it.
couldn't go back.
I thought he just never picked it up.
So he just smashed it.
This is the same bloke that walked through an arcade to fight Ryan Clark and Brian Adams.
No, shit on that. That's my favourite.
So, alright then. Well, mine, I would open with a cruiserweight. I would have a triple threat. I would have the Artist versus Psychosis versus Hoovy. Sam has made my job easy by reminding me or telling me that Psychosis never won it. So I would have Hoovy beat the Artist as Psychosis is there and create and spin off a feud between Hoovy and Psychosis. Dustin Rhodes and Terry Funk, I quite like that, but I would flip it. I definitely would flip it, and I would have Funk as the heel and Dustin as the I wanted the respect, and Funk I always hated your fat dad. And
All else fails. Break Dusty feud.
Yeah, I would have Dustin go over in a bull rope match. Booker T and Kidman versus Harlem Heat. I think I would have to have it just to blow it off, and I would keep Booker and Kidman as a team, but have the last, after they've won, Stevie Ray just telling Kidman, he is going to turn though, I know my brother enough to know he'll come back to me or he'll turn on you. And I might then play it off that Kidman's the one that turns on Booker because he never quite ever trusts him. Triple threat hardcore match between the members of 3 Count. They're forced to fight because the WCW brass will not have a triple hardcore champion, so you must now decide between you who wants to be the belt holder. They can't agree, so they set a match. Triple threat. They start out not wanting to be hardcore because they're all little sissy boys.
Just start of time.
And they mat wrestle, but as the match goes on, they slowly get more and more hardcore, and by the end of it, they're sort of brawling with each other. And I would have Brian Knobbs just come out and take the title. I would find some sort of smoz rule that allows 24/7 on this day, or something like that, when Knobbs comes out after they beat the living piss out of each other, and he just ends up taking his title back. My tag team title match, I have booked on the fly because I did have Brian Knobbs and Finlay versus the Marmalukes and didn't have Knobbs winning the title. I'm changing that now because I actually agree with just a comment that Jack made in the thingy that I think the best team that they have as faces that aren't Booker T and Kidman is Norman and the Demon. So I think I'm going to put Norman and the Demon in it because I don't think he'll hurt them to lose because I still think there's money in the Marmalukes.
Yeah.
But I would have the story still being that Disco gets whacked if they lose the belt.
Yeah.
But I would have the Marmalukes win. Now, my next match is Hulk and Sting versus Luger and Flair. But before the match, Hogan is found injured backstage. And Vampiro takes his place.
Did he beat up Hulk?
Was it Vampiro who beat up Hulk? Was it
The Wall?
The Wall? Whoever. But, we don't know who beat him up. Vampiro and Sting managed to win against Luger and Flair. I would probably have Vampiro as someone who Luger's taken out, and Sting, but not the rest of the roster. And I think this immediately elevates Vampiro as a main event player because he gets a win over Flair or Luger.
Probably Luger.
Wall versus Bam Bam. I think I would have it purely because I think I quite like the spot, but I'd have it a very short match, and I would have Daphne take the spot off the thingy, because it immediately puts Wall as what a fucking beast. He's just killed a woman. And, the main event, before the main event starts, Steiner returns and the commentary team would be sure, oh, well, it was fucking Steiner who took out Hogan wore it because now Sid A got back up and Steiner's backing up Jeff. During the match, Sid manages to win one way or the other. He retains over Jeff. And then at the end of the show, we get the clip. Sid's won. We get a clip of what actually happened. I'd have all this. So we're going to get the video of what happened. It was Sid who took out Hogan, because then Sid laughs maniacally at the end. Sid's turned heel. Hogan's going to come for Sid. And we spin out into our natural...
Into WrestleMania 8.
The thing is, I know that Sid would still get cheered over Hogan, but I can only book what I've got.
Exactly.
Jack?
Match 1, Bull rope match, Dustin Rhodes versus Terry Funk. I would switch it so Funk's the heel, Dustin's the face.
Yep.
Dustin goes over. Match 2, Norman Smiley and the Demon versus XS. I wouldn't have Miss Hancock on commentary. I wouldn't have her come out. I wouldn't have her involved.
No.
Well, I might have her wander out later on, just to do the wiggle spot with Norman and Demon. But Norman and Demon go over. Just a comedy match. Put them over. They are fantastic. Match 3. Oh. TV title match. Jim Duggan versus Fit Finlay. Now, this match was happening on house shows. Happened in England. We could have seen it at Birmingham on March 12th or something like that.
I bet there'll be a lot of potatoes.
Well, it's uncensored, so, you know, they can brawl. And Duggan v Finlay isn't going to be pretty, but it's going to at least be effective.
Yeah.
And I'm going to think that they're beating the shit out of each other.
Yeah.
And I'm putting Duggan over.
Fair enough.
Yeah, 2000, what a fucking year. Match 4. Tables handicap match. The Wall versus Crowbar and David Flair. The Wall shall put them both through tables, and then later on he shall put Daphne through a table, maybe off the stage. Who knows? Maybe don't have to be as high.
No, I don't think I would do it quite as high.
Just do it off
just
the
for
stage,
safety for
through a
Daphne.
table. Match 5, Booker and Kidman versus Harlem Heat. I'm keeping that. Booker and Kidman win. I would do like you. Maybe Kidman will turn heel in the future. Who knows? Match 6, hardcore title, Brian Knobbs versus 3 Count. Keeping it. Knobbs wins. Match 7, Jeff Jarrett versus Vampiro for the US.
Yeah.
Sort of style. I'm keeping the belt on Jarrett. But Vampiro's going to have all the odds against him. Harris Boys, Harris Boys. Like you said, I don't want to see him wrestle. I just want to see him be bodyguard.
Yeah.
Sort of cost Vampiro, bit of face muster for Vampiro, but Jeff, the cocky little heel chicken shit, manages to escape with the belt. Match 8, cage match. Sting versus Luger. Blow off the feud. No interference. No casts, no nothing. Sting wins. Match E, I've put ME, which is main event. Match 9. World title triple threat. Sam's booked this as well. Sting v Hogan v Flair. I would have basically
in the
Sid.
cage.
Oh, sorry, Sid. Excuse me. V Hogan v Flair.
Yeah.
The feud basically is Flair is trying to get in the head of Sid. Hogan will turn on you, will do. Remember 1992? You dumped him out, he dumped you out, I won the belt. Remember that, because Flair is going to win. Because of Sid's
inability
he's unable to get past the fact that Hogan will probably eventually be a bad friend, even though he's not.
But he is a bad friend.
But he can't get away from it, where Flair capitalises on it and wins the title, and then you can go into a Flair and Sid feud, Hogan and Sid feud, and I would probably have Flair drop the belt to Sting eventually.
Them and the two. You've got that roster. The logical stories, I think, of Sid and Hogan and Flair and Sting.
Well, he's just tied up with Luger.
Yeah.
And now he's going to be Sting.
Flair.
You've Jarrett A ready. I know he wins it the month after, but it's just A ready for me yet.
No, I don't think he is. I don't think he's anywhere near ready. I mean, he is a better worker than people will ever give him credit.
Yeah, but with a star power of them 5 or 6, you shouldn't be in their stratosphere either.
No. I mean, just goes to show how weak the whole roster was. He was.
No one could get close to old men.
That's a movie and a half, isn't it? That. But if you feel that you could have rebooked Uncensored 2000 and done it differently or better, head over to our website now, which is bettercallcreative.com. Our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/BCCpod. Or our Twitter, which is @BCCpod. Let us know how you would have rebooked it there. We round out the episode, as we always do, with a fantasy card. And as we had a one-and-done gimmick in this show of the Yapapapi Indian strap match, no one quite knowing what Yapapapi Indian means, we thought we would throw some of the biggest names from wrestling's past in inappropriately tagged geographical crazy matches. Some of mine are mad. I got 6. Everyone got 6.
Yes.
Jack, you would tend to be known as a mad mind. I'll open with you for match 1.
Am I? Dudley's versus LOD in a Tokyo tables match. Basically, the tables never break. So no one jumps. Still going on. All to the back.
Yeah. Brilliant. My first match is Austin V. Rocks in a Texas tambourine match where you have to bash your opponent 4 times on the head with a tambourine. And I will put over Stone Cold. Texas, obviously,
Texas.
you know,
Texas.
because it's a Texas tambourine match. It's
Yes.
specialty.
Right, first match, Luger v Sting in a Singapore strap match.
Yeah.
Basically, the strap is made of the Singapore cane. So
Okay.
they can't move with it because it's stiff.
What's going on?
It's basically like having a stick strapped to you. And I'm going to put over Luger because he probably most resembles a stick.
Brilliant.
Terry Funk versus Abdul the Butcher. Amarillo ambulance match. It's basically a horse and cart. You have to load them onto instead of an ambulance. And Terry Funk is going to win.
My horse is sick. My match 2 is LOD versus Demolition in a Chicago cat fight where you have to strip the other of bondage gear. And because Demolition wear much more bondage gear than LOD normally, I mean, I don't know what animal and Hawk used to get up to in their private life, I'm going to go with LOD winning.
Right, my next match is a 3-way Triple H match,
Okay.
which is Hard v Tully v Triple H.
Oh, we
In
love
a
that.
Hendon Hog Pen match. No, Hendon Horseman Hog Pen match.
What the hell is that?
It's a hog pen match in Hendon.
Where's the horseman?
Because there's 2 horsemen and Triple H who wants to be a horseman but not.
It's very Triple H heavy. There's a lot of
Exactly.
H's in that match.
Exactly.
This episode is sponsored by the letter H.
I'm
Who's
point
going
of on. He ain't rolling around in no hospital.
Steve Creek Booker T. Blackpool Beach Brawl. It's a match on Blackpool Beach.
Yeah, well.
Sting goes over.
My match 3 is a Montreal Mud Pit Ironman match between Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart because the only way we can sort out this feud is if they wrestle in a mud pit for an hour.
Mud Pit.
And I'm putting over Bret. Right the rungs.
My next match is going to end in a no contest.
Okay.
And I'll explain why. It's a Colombian street fight.
Okay, everyone
And,
high on coke.
Because it's Jake v. Martin. So we fly them to Colombia for the match and we never see him again.
Brilliant. Oh, brilliant.
That was the last one. I'm proud of it.
Amazing.
Match 4. Savage v. Rick Rude Dudley death match. It just happens round here.
You're looking out your window. You're looking out just round here. Having your dinner and then just wander down the road every
Down the donkey pool.
Get a little. There they are.
Donkey pool death match. Randy Savage wins.
Yeah. My next match. Andre the Giant versus Bruno Sammartino in a European Tour car race. So the
Were they in
winner,
the minis?
Andre has to get from France to Italy before Bruno gets from Italy to France
You could have called it the Italian job.
by bus.
By foot.
I just added that on.
Okay.
And I'm going to
By
have,
bus.
because Andre would struggle on a bus, I'm going to have Bruno go over.
Fair enough. My next match is Taker v Kane in a cradley casket match. It's just a poorly constructed casket with bits missing.
Why are you shooting up Cradley's construction?
Look at Cradley. Look, they don't look like they know what they're doing.
God.
So therefore,
Poor Cradley.
it ends by, like it did on Raw, where it just implodes. So what are you giving you now?
Brilliant.
Brett v. Sean Scunthorpe Irons match. It's basically a match in Gladfield Park as a fundraiser for Scunthorpe.
Yeah, they need it.
But only about
company.
3 people turn up.
Ah.
Only about 20 quid. And Sean wins.
Says Gunther. My sub-main event is the match that everyone wanted to see, which is Abdullah the Butcher versus Bruiser Brody in a Duchess of Queensberry rules proper wrestling match. They must not use any weapons. They have to have holds. And I'm going to put over Abdullah. Fuck it.
Right, my next match, Hogan v Flair in a Florida last man sleeping match. Because what is Florida known for? old people immigrated there. It's the first one to stay awake.
It's in a nursing home.
Yeah,
First one
we
to fall
both
asleep.
we basically said they both look old. They look like they need to go to sleep.
Oh, brilliant.
So I'm going to put over Flair because
Well, I've just done Hogan, Flair in the Yapapapi Indian Strap. Let's get Hogan win.
Well, I was going to do that, but I've just put Hogan versus Flair, and I just went absolutely mad and just said an African dance-off. And I'm going to put over, well, you know, Hogan wouldn't feel comfortable, so I'm going to put Flair over.
No work for me, brother.
my main event, Austin Rock, I've called it a Bilston bull rope match and I still don't know what it is. So that could be what it is.
You come up with it, you don't know what it is.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, dear.
That's what the Yapapapi was.
Yeah,
the
true.
tin that need the
Bilston, raw pig meat.
on the market.
Yeah.
No bell or anything like that.
Oh dear. And there you have it, folks. If you feel that we definitely have, missed out any crazy geographical matches, let us know on our website, which is bettercallcreative.com, our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/BCCpod, or our Twitter, which is @BCCpod. That is our pay-per-view review for the month of March done, but we will be back on the road to WrestleMania as we check out a storyline best forgotten from WrestleMania's past, WrestleMania 19's Booker T versus Triple H in a very questionable storyline. With a very predictable outcome. Are you looking forward to heading to 2003?
No.
You probably are. You love 2003, didn't you?
I have recently watched this Mania.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, the storyline's very unnecessary.
Yeah. So is the 27 seconds it takes for him to pin him after a bit.
Yeah.
But yes, and we will be also checking out the storyline of Kurt Angle's retirement, heading up to WrestleMania in April. What better way to end a storybook career than by losing to Baron Corbin, who loses to everyone else? But he did dress as a luchador. Very, very Kurt Angle shaped luchador. But we will be checking out that match. And we will be doing a pay-per-view review of a WrestleMania past. I've changed my mind on the 11 we may have announced before, because we are going to be doing WrestleMania 4.
Oh, God.
Yeah, sorry.
All right, then.
The reason being, because obviously we're going to be doing a 95 retrospective in 2025, so it makes sense to hold back,
for
on that.
30 years.
And it was either that or 15 hours worth of WrestleMania 32, so be
Could
grateful.
be WrestleMania 27.
But it might actually feel as long as WrestleMania 32.
It will.
Yeah.
Because it is boring as fuck. There's a 15-minute draw in the match in there either.
Yeah, the Jake Rude match is the draw.
Fancy getting rid of them, Matt. What we need to do after this tournament that has no star power is get rid of any stars that we had in. Anything we should be looking forward to on WrestleMania 4? You watched it recently.
Robin Leach, I think his name is. Look out for him.
Is he the one that comes out with a belt?
With a proclamation,
Yeah. Fantastic.
Are you a British bloke as well?
I don't know.
One of our own.
I ain't taking ownership of him. But there you have it, folks. Join us back in April for that. But that just leaves me to say, from Screaming Norman himself, it's Jack Chance.
Goodbye.
And it's the Demon Sam Chance.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, folks.